I don't want to keep people waiting too long. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming. Don't know how many people are coming because just kind of decided to make this show as usual without any notice on the spur of a moment. But hopefully, we get some guests coming. Thank you, Adam and Corey, for showing up. We are expecting old Crazy Rex to come, but I don't know where he is. Where are you at, Rex? We're waiting for
Come
you.
on, Rexy Poo. I still don't have hurricanes out here.
I'll quickly message him again on Facebook and tell him we're waiting for him. Oh, I did. We waiting for you.
What's his
Anyway,
real name?
that's his name, Rex. His real first
Really?
name's Aubrey. Aubrey.
Aubrey?
Aubrey Rex, and I don't want to say his last name on camera, but yeah, Rex is like his middle name or part of his first name. His real first name's Aubrey, like Aubry or something. I don't know. Aubrey. It's kind of a girl's name. Anyway, so
Aubrey. That's Drake's real name, too.
okay, well, there you go. Drake is a clown. So is
Yeah.
Rex. Just kidding. Just kidding, Rex. We love you. Hey, Mark T333, what's up, bro? Thanks for coming back. I recognize you from the last couple streams. So you're welcome to come on, like, too, if anyone wants to. Oh, that's just Corey coming back. Just let me know, Mark, or anyone that wants to come join the panel and talk about, the topic if it's intriguing you. So I heard briefly about this, but if you guys know, I don't know if you do, there's some really crazy solar activity happening right now. Actually, one of the strongest solar flares of 2025 just sparked radio blackouts across Africa and Europe. So, of course, there's people saying like, "Oh, this is going to be the end of the world," and just like they were saying before. Before when was it? During the whole I think it was like 2012 or something during the whole Mayan thing when they said there was going to be like this massive solar storm that was going to send us back into the dark ages. That's what people are saying now. There's going to be a huge, massive solar storm that's going to hit us and send everybody back into the dark ages. But that is a possibility, right? Because like, look what happened in Africa already, and in most of Europe. This huge solar flare hit, and it blacked out. They lost all radio connection, and a lot of power went out. There's also northern lights, aurora borealis, or whatever they call them, aurora borealis or northern lights happening in places where you would never usually see them right now in the world because of these like big solar storms and solar flares that are happening. That's cue for you to say something.
Sorry. It seems like it's starting to get like time to break up out like the CB radios and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If there's going to be blackouts like that.
That would be a good idea, actually, Adam, to prepare. That's a good idea for everyone. I'm not trying to be like a doom and gloom kind of preacher guy, but I think it's a really good idea for everyone to keep like a bug out bag or at least like a minimum of safety supplies, like maybe some clean water. And like, do you know what's really good prepper item is a jar of peanut butter. You would be super surprised how many calories are in like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. There's an insane amount of energy in peanut butter. Like 1 jar of peanut butter would be enough to like fend off starvation and keep your blood sugar up to give you energy to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. Not saying that it's going to keep you from starving to death, but there's quite a bit of calories in 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. So it's a really good prepper item, and it has a really long shelf life, and it doesn't need to be refrigerated.
And another thing too is like getting your like a dehydrator and a meat slicer and stuff like that. Start making your own jerky.
Yeah, for sure. That would be good. That would be awesome, obviously, in the long run. But I'm just even saying for people just to have like a 72-hour worth of, at least something like, obviously the more the better. If you had like a pantry in the basement or something with a bunch of dried foods and canned foods, yeah, that would be even be better. But at least get something. You'd be surprised how many people don't have anything, no preparations at all.
That's crazy, man.
Like me, for example, I'm here talking about it and I have nothing. Like I have some peanut butter in the cupboard and like some canned stuff, but we don't have like a bag, like a bug out bag or like a emergency kit anywhere. We should, because anything can really happen at any time in reality, right?
Yeah.
Back when my channel was a lot bigger and I used to get a lot of views, I used to do like affiliate marketing, and I had a link for this like survival grenade thing, and it was a really good deal. Basically, you just like paid the shipping, and I mean that's how they kind of got people to buy it. They would be like, pay the shipping and we'll send you this free thing. But it was only like, I don't know how much the shipping was, like $4.95, which basically paid for the item. And it was like a in the shape of a grenade, and it was like a bunch of like really military strong grade strings and like fish hooks and like spark what's that thing called? It's like a striking rod, like that makes sparks.
What?
Yeah, like a flint striker, a bunch of military grade like paracord string, and it was all wrapped up in the shape of a little grenade, and it had like fish hooks and a bunch of just like essential things you could use to like survive. So it was pretty cool. I actually made a couple $100 a week off of that just in affiliate sales. But
Really?
yeah, but that was back when my videos would get like 50 to 100,000 views in the first 48 hours, back when my channel was like really popping before YouTube killed me. So, but I'm not saying that to make money. I'm just saying that for people listening, it's a smart idea to have, because it was actually a good product. I made a bit of money off it, but like it was actually a good product. I didn't just sell it to rip people off. I used to get a lot of comments from people saying they were really happy with it, and like, it would really help you out in a survival situation. So just saying that so people could, be prepared. Like you don't have to get that, but just be prepared, guys, because there is a lot of crazy. And Rex has finally joined us, so he can tell us a bit more about this. But before you do, Rex, welcome. I'll just read a couple little paragraphs from here, and then I'll let you do some talking about these solar activities. So, like I said, guys, a sun unleashes the strongest solar flare of 2025, sparking radio blackouts across Africa and Europe, and it's been classified an X 5.1 eruption. Don't know what that means, but I guess it's a big one from a sunspot, which is how they happen. And it's apparently this year's most powerful solar flare, and Earth is in the firing line. So the sun erupted in spectacular fashion this morning, which was November 11th, unleashing this 5.1 class solar flare, strongest since October 2024. Eruption peaked at 5 a.m., and it's called the AR4 274 eruption. It's been bursting with activity in recent days, and like we said, the blast has triggered strong R3 level radio blackouts across Africa and Europe, disrupting high-frequency radio communications on the sunlit side of Earth. So, welcome, Rex, and how you doing, buddy?
Welcome, Rex.
Good. How are you guys? What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. No hurricanes there, bro.
I know, nothing at all right now. A lot of other things in the world right now.
Tornado he was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, there's still no tornadoes in Chilliwack, Rex. I'm sadly disappointed, bro.
Hey! It just might come, so you keep watching.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over, man.
Definitely ain't over after this next week either. So whenever all this weather, as we're speaking about this weather, man.
Yeah, what's been going on? What can you tell us about the activity on the sun, Rex?
All right, over the last 33 hours, man, last 33 hours would be very interesting. So in the last 33 hours, we've had 5 different CMEs, which is, these are halo factors. So these bursts are coming at us directly. And these are class 5.
So for people that don't know, the CME stands for what? Coronal mass ejection.
Correct.
Okay.
And so now the way this works is that the sun's spinning and it's moving in every direction, we know, right? And it sends off these bursts all the time, but they're never really Earth facing. So the chance of that's pretty slim. And when we get it, usually the toppling effect is some earthquakes, some storms. Our weather comes from the sun. Okay, so
I didn't know
it's
that
always
solar flares cause earthquakes. You learn something new every day.
All right, so many years we'd be watching, and a lot of people have been talking about this like blackout event with the sun, which is if we get directly hit with a class 5 or more a perfectly direct shot, kid, because our ozone layer is very weak right now, and if you look into that, it causes a lot of effect. We get more gamma radiation and all this other stuff coming in
Or you
constantly.
mean the magnetic field of the Earth, right? Not the ozone
Yep,
layer.
yep.
Okay.
Well,
Because
whatever,
I think it's the
either or.
magnetic field that
Yeah,
stops the
it
solar
is
flares.
it is the the
Okay.
magnetosphere.
No problem.
But
Continue on, bro.
as this has been going on the last few days, the
Mm-hmm.
bad situation about this isn't just the fact that we're getting hit by these blasts because we've been being pelted by them forever and we're still here. It's this stacking effect that scares scientists, where these blasts will hit in a sequence where the next one hits harder and then it hits harder. And instead of one blast coming in when it's supposed to, you get stacked with 3 blasts at the same time. Well, in our case, we currently have 5 of these, and what's even scarier is most of them were halo. So when we get a halo effect, it pops in our direction to the factor that it actually leaves this beautiful halo around the burst where you can tell we're directly getting hit by it. And depending on how accurate, which that's still on a lot of factors there, if we're going to side glance by it, if it's going to hit us prior and we're going to go into it, but getting directly hit with it as the blast is moving through causes a lot of damage to our magnetosphere in the first place. And so they're super scared over this because where we have the word EMP, electronic magnetic pulse, comes from all this in the first place. They knew this happened in the dark era, and they knew this had happened in the past where we had some super bursts. I think it was like I don't want to be right on
It
it, but it's
happened in
like
the
maybe
19th century, and it was before
yeah,
we had a big power grid, but it knocked out all the telegraph lines. So they were
yep,
saying
and
like if that size of a CME or solar flare hit the Earth nowadays in like the 2020s, it would basically send us back into the dark ages for like 6 months or something before we could get the power grid back up.
correct.
So that
Now,
would be
2 years
scary.
ago or so, yeah, it would. And now, so 2 years ago, if you remember, me and you did a channel on this when the sun was acting up last time, and we kind of were talking about these same scenarios, kind of borderlines coming around, but it wasn't that case. So now we're in today, and today's situation is 5 times crazier or greater than what we were facing 2 years ago. So it's got scientists and everybody kind of on edge and on their end of their seat right now that watches this kind of stuff because they are afraid that it could lead to a larger scale event. Uh, they don't know what it's going to cause. They know it causes electrical problems. So they know satellites can come down out of the sky. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but most people who are watching this probably do because they're all over the place to find this channel. In the last week or so, a lot of satellites have been coming down from the skies. So that's a precursor that this event was already going to be pretty big. So they've lost a few of them in just the last week. And so now you're seeing satellites coming down. And then you already see that starting to affect Africa already. Well, tonight around 1 o'clock, it should start hitting close to the West Coast, maybe like 1:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And we'll see about that effect tomorrow. We might wake up tomorrow and have really horrible internet connection, or it could be worse. We might not be able to activate phones for weeks or several weeks as they try to fix the problem.
There's nothing worse
And
than
now,
having no internet. What are you talking about?
exactly. And you know what's even scarier? So
Okay.
this event's not over yet. So you're like, oh, 5, that will be good. Well, the problem is the corona hole that's developing on the sun right now.
Uh-huh.
You can't see it in this film because it's on the other side right now. But this is the facing side of us right now. But on the other side is this massive black hole over there right now, the corona hole. And it's going to wrap around again tomorrow, probably around 2-ish, 3-ish in the afternoon for our time in the United States. And at that point, you're going to be facing the risk of more of these. So they were already threatened by how it was acting in the first place, which now we're at 5. And they're still threatened because it still looks like it's still very active, a very, very active region, still growing. So not only could we be facing something this devastating, but we could be facing something even more devastating than we're expecting to. And it's just a possibility, expectation. We're all learning here, even the scientists today, to figure out how this is going to affect
I
our.
would just like to add to that, like the one that happened in the 19th century, I think it was like in the 1800s. Like I said before, that was like before, right? That we all had these
Yeah.
crazy power grids and power lines everywhere. but we did have like telegraph lines. It was back in like the telegraph days, and it singed out and burnt out all those telegraph lines. So like, yeah, man, like if something of that size or greater were to happen today, like I know that they have been trying to reinforce the power grid, like in some countries preparing for this kind of stuff, but a lot of it is still not up to code. A lot of majority of the power grid is not built to withstand something like this, which is foolish in this day and age. But Rex is like right. Like if this something of that caliber happened, I think it was called the Carrington effect.
The Carrington event.
You guys are welcome to look that up, or I can bring it up
Yeah,
right now.
you absolutely should, because it 100% goes with what we're talking about today. This would be the next Carrington event at the, which it looks like it's already going to be. So get ready, buckle up. We'll find out how it turns out.
What's the Carrington event?
It's the one that happened in the 19th century, I think. I'm going to bring it up on screen right now and read it with you guys. So the Carrington event was the most intense geomagnetic storm in recorded history, peaking in on 1st to 2nd of September in 1859 during a solar cycle 10. It created strong auroral displays that were reported globally, so northern lights, and caused sparking and even fires in telegraph stations. The geomagnetic storm was most likely the result of a coronal mass ejection, or a CME, from the sun colliding with the Earth's magnetosphere. So yeah, bro, it was named after the British astronomer Richard Carrington and Richard Hodgson, who first recorded the solar flare. If a geomagnetic storm of this magnitude occurred today, it has the potential to cause widespread electrical disruptions, blackouts, and damage to the electrical power grid. Sorry. So there you have it. Like if something like that were to happen today, it would send us back into the dark ages. And could you imagine the looting and rioting and just like imagine if the city of New York or Los Angeles just went completely black for months. Like it would be chaos.
The problem here now, Nick, is that back then the grid wasn't dependent or reliant off electricity in any form or fashion.
Exactly.
Today, our society has developed 10 times, 100,000 times the fold, and we're highly dependent off electricity from our medical fields.
For sure.
That medicine has to stay cold from food that's in all of our refrigerators that allow us to eat tomorrow, from the food that's in storage, keeping our food stored, from everything we can think about, from our computers to our vehicles to getting your food from who knows being sent from China or wherever your food comes from. Now, if you're to lose this kind of connection in a mass scale, we would not have food. A lot of the places and the things that we even get our food from run off of machines even there.
Oh, it'd be
slaughterhouses
devastating. It would be devastating.
And nobody knows how to preserve food anymore either.
Not many.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Not many.
You're right.
There's
there.
very few people that have cabins in the woods anymore and know how to live off the land. Not many, bro. Not many. I'm lucky that my parents have like a super remote A-frame cabin up in the Chakotay Valley in BC on the Indian reservation, and it's like totally.
So your parents are squatting on that? I'm joking. Sorry.
Yeah, they are.
Like, yep.
They're white.
I know where to come.
What's it called? The Chakotay Valley or something? It's up near Williams Lake in the interior of BC, and they have. Sorry.
Don't tell them what we're gonna do.
Yeah, but that's where I would go, right? Because they are solar paneled, off grid, and like all.
You want to get stuck with Nick at the apocalypse?
Me and Corey would be going with you, Nick.
So there you go. That's where we would go.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, well, you'd have a hard time getting here from where you're at, Rex. But if you can,
I might not be there tomorrow, but I would be definitely traveling.
Make it all the way up here. If you can make it up here, you're more than welcome. But yeah, that's where I'd go. But anyway, he's right, guys. Like if that happened, it would cause devastation. Like we don't know. People don't know how to survive without electricity anymore. How long would it take before the food in your refrigerator started rotting? And we were just talking.
And nobody knows even how to cook in a wood stove anymore either.
No, exactly.
And this is a problem too. We have changed from back then where the nature was over inhabited. So getting wood was a thing. We're so overpopulated. If tomorrow we had to survive off of wood, we might as well be doomed because we'd probably chop down all the trees in a day.
Dude, no one would survive where I'm at right now. It gets like -40 in the winter. So many people would be dead in like 48 hours. Like if there was no heating
Really?
in the freaking dude, if there was no heating up here in the
Oh yeah, you
winter,
guys are bad. You guys are
people
froze
would
to
be
death. You guys,
dead. I would be.
Oh
I was
yeah,
up,
yeah, far back.
you
yeah,
guys
where
are
I'm.
surviving off the fires. If you're not like
Yeah,
surrounded,
dude,
you
we're
guys are gone.
surviving off of coal furnaces for heat, not coal, sorry, oil powered furnaces and electric baseboard heat. So like 48 hours, dude, minus 40 one day, you'd be frozen to death, gone. Like if it was the middle of winter and that happened and we lost all power up here, people would be done. Like we'd have no chance but to get in the car. Hopefully my car would work because it's a 2007 or 2008, so it's not full
Oh man,
of all these new computer chips. Hopefully it would
you
start.
you you you're gonna be sad if this came to a full Carrington event. Pretty much every electronic besides triple copper plated items will be gone. That means
Yeah,
like
that's
everything.
Corey
another
wants to
thing.
say something. Hold on.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to say, Nick, I would survive out there. I have like extra weight on me that is not supposed to be on my body, so therefore, I will
Well,
be warm.
so do I, but I mean, the Indians say that they lived up here in freaking teepees and stuff before the white man came, but I don't believe a word of it, bro.
Well,
It's like,
actually, TPs, you know why there's a hole in there, so you could build a center of like a small little fire
I
in the
guess
ground.
the only way
Yeah,
would be
steam tents are how you do it, man. Even when you get these guys in extreme stream colds,
I
they'll
think it's
have a
just
little
a
itty
land
bitty
grab,
caribou
dude.
Dutch
I
oven
think
with
they're
them.
just like saying they did so they can get reclamation acts and like take land because like I don't know, dude. I don't know if you ever been to Fort Mac. It's like so dry and cold and far up north. It literally stays minus 40 for like weeks at a time. Like the only way they can survive is if they in the summer or whatever stocked up on like tons and tons and tons of fish and dried out meats and literally just stayed like all packed together in a sweaty teepee, like wrapped in bear skins and like spooning up.
Those TPs with the fires in them, man, they are hot. Like they can
Yeah,
get
man,
Yeah,
you'll be
I
sweating.
know.
one in northern BC in the snow. It gets warm, like very, very warm, where you could be sitting in like your t-shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, your whole family beats. And that's the thing.
Because
He's
the
not
high,
joking. So you can
the
get out,
high,
back out into that snow and back in real quick.
minus
Hold on,
40 is
Rex.
real cold.
the hide insulates it, and then the you dig a hole in the ground, and that's where you build your fire.
What would they
So
burn
then the
though?
ground
They'd have to have. Where would they store? Like, what do they burn? Like, not wood.
Well, they
obviously,
use fats.
Wood.
They use fats
Wood in the
and
ground.
fats.
I guess.
There's a reason why a lot of people used blubber back in the day. It was able to make candles.
Oh,
And
I
these
thought they
candles
ate
would
it.
run off of fats. Well, they would use the fats to burn.
That was
And
Inuit,
so,
dude.
Yeah.
oh yeah, but that's how they got into the mountains. They traveled from that technique into the further depths
Anyway,
of the
they would have
mountains.
to have a lot of firewood stocked up too, because like I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it would be a hard go. It would be a really
It
hard
would
thing
be
to
hard
do.
go. It wasn't easy. And then for food, you just make pemmican and carry that around with you, right? Like pemmican is just dried meat and rendered fat, and that's how they
And
preserve
berries.
their. The shelf life is like 15 years for something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway,
There's techniques. They have techniques to keep that stuff pretty much
all that
preserved
being
forever.
said, if anything like the Carrington event or something even bigger happened, I would say like a lot of society and the population would die off. Like we're talking about how the indigenous people lived, hundreds of years ago. That's a totally different thing from 2025. Like if
Dude, nobody would survive now.
oh, it'd be crazy. The only people that would survive would be the Inuit and stuff that are still up there living like that. And like they're not living in igloos and stuff anymore. They have like villages and like little houses and towns up there, and they all ride skidoos and snowmobiles. But like they'd probably be able to survive because it's already cold all the time up there, and they have like a lot of whale blubber and stuff in their freezers, and they're used to it. They probably they have wood stoves in their houses. So, but yeah, majority of the population would be gone, dude.
What's even crazier about this event though too is the weather events that it brings on. So we've been talking about some pretty crazy events in general, like all these volcanoes and earthquakes from like South America to Alaska. and across like the other countries and up in the European countries and stuff, right? If this event happens, not is it going to only drop to what we used to it could possibly drop us to what we used to call an ice age, but it also can activate like a chain of right now with everything going on. It could definitely activate a chain of volcanoes that could cause devastation across the United States real easy. And I think a lot of people are aware of that too.
What, the solar storm?
Yeah, I know you. I guess you didn't realize that. You did bring that up. That you didn't realize that these effects from
No,
the
I
sun
didn't know
cause our
solar
earthquakes.
storms caused earthquakes. No, I didn't know
But
that. How does that
but
work?
so they once they blast, about 7 days after the initial burst from the sun, about 7 to 8 days after that,
Mhm.
most of the time, they'll affect the Earth, and then we'll get rumbles around the Earth. And who knows what
Oh,
that's exact? Maybe it's affecting from the magnetosphere, or whatever. It's an adjustment or whatever from those blasts.
maybe, yeah.
But this one right here has already been getting. If you look right now, a lot of places have been like California has just been nonstop earthquakes last week, just rumbling in the
Really?
3.5 area, and a lot of places down in South America getting like these, and all the way to Drake's Passage. Drake's Passage, like not even 2 weeks ago, about right at the beginning of this, had an
Hmm.
8.2 or 3, and we're like talking bigger. We're talking bigger than normal storms. Like
Well,
I remember the first time we were talking about a 7, and I had been
from
watching
what
this
I
stuff for
can see,
years.
that they don't affect earthquakes, they don't cause them, but there are some research. It says no, solar storms do not directly cause earthquakes, and a direct causal link is not significantly scientifically established. However, some research suggests that solar activity might influence or trigger earthquakes, though the findings are debated and inconsistent. So who knows? Like, maybe it's not like you're making it up. There are some people that say
Yeah.
that they do
So
cause earthquakes.
So I told you I don't watch mainstream news because it's not always that accurate. And I'm pretty sure anybody who watches mainstream news kind of gets disappointed a lot. I watch a suspicious space observer. His name is Ben. A lot of people on YouTube actually go to this guy in the morning to watch the weather. And he's one of the very few people that acknowledge that the sun affects earthquakes. And this is a guy we should definitely sit down with because this guy knows this stuff. He's been doing it for like 30 years. And he does it
Ooh,
very
what's
like in
his name?
detail. Suspicious space observer. You're gonna love this guy. But
Suspicious
he's
space observer. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He owns Observer Ranch out here. He's got a huge thing. He's been going on for a long time. He's got plaques from YouTube all the way up into the million views. The guy's got his thing going on, but he's a guy that has been arguing the fact, and I believe I watch him, man. I see that like a lot of the effects from the sun definitely affect the earthquakes right after, and he doesn't argue with it these days. He just pretty much tells his people that's what it is, and that's kind of what happens.
Yes,
But man,
Catherine. There
he
was an
preaches that
earthquake in
mainstream.
Japan today. Sorry to cut you off, Rex.
No,
She
it's
keeps
okay.
asking, just addressing the chat. There definitely was an earthquake in Japan today or yesterday. I think they said it was like a 5.4. Yeah, sorry, Rex.
No, it's okay. So like I was saying, with this, like mainstream science has been refusing to acknowledge that earthquakes are affected by the sun. Yet, even though in the last like 100 years, there's been plenty of scientists to put this up on the board
I
and
don't think
suggest
they're
it, but it's always
refusing
been
to
tossed out.
acknowledge it, bro. They're just saying there's not enough evidence to confirm it, right? Like that's how
Well,
science
if you
works.
get
I
a
don't.
if you get
Sorry.
on the Ben's channel, he's done the science. He's done the science. Like he has been doing
Yeah,
the science
exactly.
profusely
That's
every
not how
day.
science
He's up
works,
like
though,
12
right?
times a day.
Like they have like peer review boards and
I
a
know.
process of going through science. It's not just one guy that, you know what I mean? Like there's just a process in science. So they're not, I don't, like Google even said, like they're not saying definitely it doesn't cause it. They're not denying it. They're just saying there's not really any link or enough scientific evidence to suggest that solar flares are directly responsible for causing earthquakes. I'm going to get a
An
drink. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is my opinionated guess because it's not scientific or whatever, but I believe after this stuff hits, we're gonna have some pretty big earthquakes. So everybody, just in case, be prepared because nobody knows. That's all I'm saying. From what I've seen over the years, I just thought that was 100% the cost. It seemed like it was accurate, so I didn't know otherwise. What about you, Adam?
What's that?
What do you know about all this? Or Corey? What do you know about the
You
sun
know,
and the effects in this?
honestly, I think we're watching biblical prophecy play out. Like Dick said before the show, the Bible says we'll see signs in the heavens and we'll feel the earth pains, right? So better
Yeah,
start
I agree.
prepping, right? That's
Well,
all I can
I don't
say.
know.
Get it together.
I'm trying to be right with the Lord, so I don't have to prep. I assume if my time's my time, I better be right with the Lord. But I do have plenty of things. I've always been talking about this kind of stuff. So my best bet would be to know how to get your water. Just like Nick was saying, you better learn how to be able to survive in
Yeah.
extreme weathers. And you better have canned food and things that can be stored for 6 months. And even if you don't know how to grow, this event could be
I am
years.
back.
The government has some predictions on EMP events, and they believe that if the United States were ever to hit a mass EMP from natural causes, like from people, it could throw us easily 7 years to 20 years into the past, and as
One
we
thing
recover.
I would like to say before I forget is I would like to thank any veterans, or if you had any family members who fought and maybe died in defense of your country and our freedoms. I would like to thank you guys for that, and because it is Remembrance Day today, and I would just like to thank all the people that risked their lives or had family members that have died defending our freedoms. Just wanted to say that
Amen to that.
before we go too far. Not a lot of that is brought up enough, especially with this woke leftist culture and this infectious rot of wokeness that is
Yeah.
spreading throughout society. Okay, so I wanted to, as a Christian, I'd also like to bring up some verses, especially the stuff that's happening with the sun. The first one I'm going to bring up is Luke 21. I believe it's chapter 25, verse 25, or we can start at verse 25. So this is Luke 21, verse 25. It's chapter titled "When Christ Returns," and it says, "And there will be signs in the sun and moon and stars on the earth, and on the earth anguish among nations in perplexity of the roaring of the sea and the waves." So this is men fainting from fear and the expectation of the things which are coming upon the world, for the powers of heaven will be shaken. So this is talking about signs in the sun and the moon, and we're seeing a lot of crazy solar activity, solar storms, and stuff happening right now. So I would like to point that out. And there's one more. Hello, dogs. How are you doing? You're welcome to join if you'd like. There's the link. One more Bible verse before we start talking about solar flares and stuff again, and that's Matthew chapter 24, verse 29, and it's pretty much saying the same thing but a bit differently. This is the coming of the Son of Man. It says, "But immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of heavens will be shaken." So I don't know if you guys have seen what happens or what a solar storm looks like if you look at the sun, but it literally looks like a dark spot upon the face of the sun. So I just find that kind of interesting that Luke 24:29 says the sun will be darkened, which is a sign of his coming. Because if I can bring up a picture of a solar storm on the earth, on the sun, sorry, you can see what I'm talking about.
That trips me out, Nick. The whole darkening of the sun. You remember my little dream thing of last year, and I told you the moon stopped rising in my dream or vision, and it just never rose no more.
Yeah, I briefly remember your crazy trippy dreamer vision that you had.
Yeah, I know that's weird because I'm learning the Bible and I didn't even know this factor right here, or I would have been like ranting about this.
So here's a picture right here of a solar flare. This is a solar storm. This thing that comes out of it breaks, and then it sends solar flare activity and radiation and particles towards Earth, which is the solar storm. But you see these spots, these dark spots right here. These are like this is what it forms from. So when it says, there'll be the darkening of the sun, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Hi, April. How you doing?
Did you know, Nick? Did you know that CMEs and these effects from the sun affect people with heart problems?
Yeah.
No, but I mean that you learn something new every day, and it would make sense if people are wearing pacemakers and stuff because they mess with electronics.
Well, it also affects with the people that have natural heart problems in general, though, too, and people with emotion. If you look this up, you can look this up. What effects do CMEs have on human beings? And the two things that's gonna pop up is people with heart problems and emotional people with like
And
I
it's
don't know how
not
to say
just
it on
because
here.
of pacemakers in there. Let's see. I'll look it up.
Mm-hmm.
What effects do solar storms have on humans? I could see the heart thing if they're wearing pacemakers, but let's see what it says. What effects do solar storms have on humans? Solar storms do not cause direct physical harm to humans on the ground because Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field provide protection. However, there is research suggesting solar storms may cause indirect effects on human health by disrupting the nervous and cardiovascular systems, leading to potential issues like sleep disturbances, headaches, and mood changes. These effects are often subtle and more pronounced in sensitive individuals or those with pre-existing conditions, and some researchers believe the nocebo effect may play a role. Well, that's interesting. Cardiovascular and nervous system geomagnetic activity during solar storms can alter extremely low signals, which may impact brainwaves and cause shifts in heart rate variability. Learn something new every day.
I know. When I found that out, the first thing I thought was what you were just talking about hearts of men failing, and it's saying like in the first time that God like had to dilute the sins of men, but the second time it like talks about fire, and I just was immediately like, if there was a fire that humans should fear, it'd probably be the sun. And then it's like if you type in what these effects are and how they affect, it's like literally the sun is what
Yeah.
Revelation's speaking of. When the sun acts out, did you know that the moon has been having small earthquakes? You're talking about like signs in the sun and the moon. You know
Really?
the moon's been having small little tremors on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I think I might have heard something about that. Moon tremors.
Small moon tremors because they don't like to talk
Moonquakes.
about it because they don't know how to identify it
Moonquakes
yet.
are seismic
Yep.
events on the moon caused by its internal cooling and shrinking and by the gravitational pull of the Earth. They're much weaker than Earth's earthquakes and occur when built up stress in the lunar crust is released. I didn't know. Let's see. Recent moonquakes, earthquakes, mooncakes, rexquakes.
I would try. It's like they don't do it every like day or nothing. So if it was me, I would look for a chart of last year's
Yeah, no,
earthquakes to see
recent,
the
it
uptick of it.
says recent research confirms the moon is still geologically active with new landslides and other features attributed to recent moonquakes. In September 2025, a study using Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter LRO images identified 41 new landslides triggered by seismic activity since 2009. So there's been 41 moonquakes or landslides since 2009. So it's active for show.
And then
Yeah.
if you look in just this year alone, it seems like most of it, that number is like not a huge number. But if you look into it, it was like one. Then they're like, holy crap, there's quakes. And then there was like a 6 month period later, there was like 2 or 3. And they're like, we need to test on this to see if that's a thing. And all of a sudden there was like 8. And then in this last like couple months, the rest of them all appeared up in there. So like you had almost 20 in just like a few
To
month period.
address Jacqueline in the chat, why do we get spiritually paralyzed during night? Why, Nick? I don't know, my dear. I don't have all the answers. I'm just a human. I do know the scientific answer is that when you're dreaming, there's literally a hormone that's released in your brain that keeps your body paralyzed for safety reasons. Because when you're dreaming, if it didn't paralyze you, you'd be flailing around like this. When you're having nightmares, you'd be smashing into things and damaging yourself. And I know that when you come out of this, when you're just waking up, this hormone or chemical or whatever that it is in your brain is still active when it's supposed to be shut off, and that's why you suffer. That's why you experience sleep paralysis and can't move and stuff. Now, like I used to suffer really bad from sleep paralysis myself, and I experienced what I call demonic attacks from it, and I seen the same demon come in again and again. Now, science will call it sleep paralysis with induced hallucinations. Of course, they're
Yeah.
going to say they're hallucinations. They're not going to say they're demons, but I fully believe it was a demon because most of you know my story. I got prayed over. My old landlords came back from Jerusalem with this holy anointing oil that they got in Israel there in Jerusalem, and anointed the sign of the cross on my forehead, laid hands on me and prayed. And ever since they did that, years and years ago, I've never suffered any kind of demonic sleep paralysis attack again. So it 100% worked. You want to call that the placebo effect? Whatever. I used to suffer so bad from it. So there's my short answer.
I agree with you, Nick, on that one too, because when all the random stuff, I like to always go to the back way, trying to figure out what they're hiding. It seems like the veil is more accessible between the hours of midnight. Yes, I feel it. But check it out. So the veil is this dinning that they believe that spirits have, and they believe in this point it's most accessible between the hours of midnight and I think it's 3:33. But if you look into Tesla and people who've had crazy visions and stuff, they preach the same thing. It's access to the spirit world that they believe is there. And I know that might go against religion today, but it seems that there's something going on there.
I was looking at the chat. What did you say about access to
Maybe
the spirit world?
is there a spirit world in the Bible that we're able to access? Because it seems like if it's not written, it seems that there's people.
Not when we're alive, no. But there is a spiritual battle and warfare going on around us at all time, and there is I don't have all the answers either, but there are astral projections, and it's totally not. You're not supposed to try and get in there, but according to the occult and stuff, you can access it, but it's against God and against the Bible.
I feel
as far as I know,
I feel like that's the cultic part to keep everybody else from accessing.
Maybe
it
Adam will be able to tell you a little more about that, but I do know people are able to astral project themselves, which is basically popping out of your body.
Yeah.
And entering the spirit
There's
world.
The cord that ties our soul to our body.
Yeah, there's
right to the umbilical cord.
There's something called a life cord, and if you go too far, it's supposed to break, and you're not supposed to get back into your body. But I will say, be careful with that, because if you start messing around with the astral projection and stuff, I heard when you leave your body becomes susceptible to be entered
spirits
by
demons,
spirits, which you don't want to mess with. So I would
suggest that stuff is written.
Yeah, I would suggest for anybody watching to not try to mess around with that stuff.
No.
Yeah, unless you're literally trained and you're already doing it, you better make sure that
not even that, dude. The only time that it biblically that something like that's happened is when God wants to show somebody something, right?
You guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a plug for myself into the live chat. If anyone is interested in helping out the channel and might want to become a channel member, there's the link right there. Sorry to do it, but I could use the help. You can become a channel member for as low as $1.50 a month, and YouTube now has put out one free super chat a month with channel memberships, so it pretty much pays for itself. So if you want to check it out. There's the link. If not, it's all good. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. Give the video a like. And sorry, Adam, what were you saying, bro?
The only time that we're supposed to leave our body, biblically, is when God wants to show somebody something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I've never been able to do it.
So, Adam, one question, and I actually want to hear from you. So, I'm not going to go. We could talk a lot more about this backstage, but I've been always involved with this. You've already kind of got a pretty sure vivid picture that since a child, my family's been into witchcraft and white magic and stuff, right? So me doing this stuff, I've had some pretty interesting visions while doing this stuff, and it seems like not anybody else or a lot of people are able to do this, and it's very few. You're saying this in the Bible. You think Satan would be presenting it to me, or do you think maybe God is showing me some stuff?
Because
I'm definitely not doing it. I'm not doing it for satanic reasons. It's always through God. I'm always praying to God. I'm always channeling and asking for God to show me this stuff.
God would never
I'm down there burning candles or sacrificing things. Or
God is never Rex. I mean, I know you asked Adam, but I'll tell you my opinion. And God is never going to contradict himself in the Bible. He's never going to present to you something that's classified as witchcraft or the occult, or something that he doesn't want you to do.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Man, this makes me think about last year, dude. I really think that God showed me that thing about the Leviathan for a reason. I know this is a little bit off track, but the vision itself, even us talking, every time I talk about the Bible, it makes me like trip out. Like, I'm like, whoa, has the reality shifted to talk about this whole topic, or was I really that ignorant? And like, his vision is, or my dream or whatever I had was so strong that it literally is. How could it be accurate? The information I didn't know.
Thank you, April, for the super sticker. That's really sweet of you. April, one of my 3 channel members, and now she gave me a super sticker. You're too kind. Thank you very much.
Oh, April, thank you, April.
That's really awesome of you. Anyway, let's try and get back onto the topic because people are going to be joining and hoping we're talking about this. So it's your visions and stuff for Cool Rex. We'll have to do another show on what you're talking about. I would love to set up a show about the occult and what is the occult and what, we could totally do a show like that in the future. If Adam wants to come join us, I'm totally down, bro. Totally down. So,
definitely.
but until then,
back to the sun.
Back to the sun thing, bro. Back to the solar storm thing. So, how are you doing anything to prepare for anything, Rex? Like, what happens if solar storm happens to you out in Arizona where you're at?
Well, for me, it's going to either get dramatically hot or dramatically cold. I have water rations, and I know how to survive off the land. Most people don't know, like, native plants you should be eating, but like chickweed and dandelions. And Arizona's got a good variety. There's a lot of cactus you can survive off, and if you know how to make traps, poaching and hunting is probably going to be it. But this is the realest thing. We're talking about extreme weathers, and when the extreme weathers happen, you don't just go walking out, and it's not like that. That's why it's hard. You're not going to go have an easy day. It's not going to be beautiful weathers and stuff like that. It's going to be really rough, really rainy, probably really stormy, flash floods. So high grounds, being ready for high ground and rains and even snowfall. And in this case, like I say, from what I've seen over the last like 15 years of watching this, I never knew that the earthquakes didn't affect the Earth. From what I've always been watching, I've been very convinced to it from just seeing the results.
Yeah. Well,
so I would assume that assume there's going to be earthquakes. Yep, and we've been having more tornadoes and earthquakes in Arizona than ever before last year.
What about
so for me?
What about power? Like, is there a lot of people that have solar power where you are, or how does that work?
I feel like I have a lot of solar power items because how I live off grid a lot. How I'm rolling. I got my RV and stuff. I don't like being attached to the grid, so I have solar, but not to cook, for lighting and other not the essentials.
Yeah, you could.
But at the end of the day,
out there, it wouldn't be hard to start a fire in the desert, I would imagine.
Yeah, but everything burns here unless it rains. Now that's the thing. Having wood prepped is a smart thing, because if it rains, your wood's going to be wet, and trying to get it ready in an emergency, that's something. So having wood prep, fresh water, knowing how to get your fresh water. In Arizona, you really got to understand that the water is there, but you have to know how to get it.
Wells, bringing up water, I'd like to respond to my channel member, April. You got to be careful about that, April. Water and cactuses, like there's, as far as I know, one of the only cactuses that you can safely consume is called a prickly pear cactus, and like even that you can get really, really sick. So like I heard it's kind of a myth. Like I don't think you can just cut. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can't just cut cactuses open and drink water out of them.
Yeah, there's no water in them, but there's water in the material. It's just like eating any kind of food that has water. If you don't cook it out of it, you will retain some of it.
Let's fact check this.
Most cactuses are dangerous, but no, there are a lot of cactuses you can actually eat. We eat a lot of cactuses out here.
Like as far as I know, the prickly pear cactus is one of the onlys. It says you can eat certain parts of some cacti, like the fruit and pads of the prickly pear cactus. But drinking water from most cacti is not recommended, as the liquid can be toxic. The liquid can be toxic and cause dehydration. The fleshy pulp of most cacti contain alkaloids and acids that can make you sick, leading to vomiting and diarrhea, which further dehydrates you. Yeah, so be careful with that, guys. Be careful with that. Make sure you really know your cactuses.
Well, peyote
here in Arizona,
cactus, right? So
true. A lot of hallucinogenics come from cacti as well. But if you're in Arizona or any place, you're really going to have water in an issue like this. Even if it came to a nuclear disaster, the truth of how you would get water would be birch trees. Understanding how to tap birch is very important, because even the radiation, they filter out the radiation out of the water that's around them. And so
Yeah.
constantly being able to identify a birch tree, where they're at, and how to get them. So in creek beds, there are always birch trees, but that is the most dangerous place to be during horrible weather. So pre-prepping and knowing where you would have to go after the event to be starting on that is something. And
I wonder
identifying, because realistically, and this is the other thing, the last other thing you're going to be able to do to retain, and in a situation, it's a survival event, you would need a syringe because you'd have to make blood sausage. You would have to find some sort of animal like pigs or javelina, or even your dogs, or something that can eat the material and the stuff around you, even rabbits, be able to pull a little bit of blood from them every day to be able to continue with the moisture that's drawn to the blood to keep yourself alive, to add to like anything else you can get. But that's realistically, if you're talking about extreme survival, that's it.
I'm trying to like log in so you guys can talk a bit. I'm trying to log in. It's been so long, so I'm trying to log into this ClickBank thing to see if I can find that survival grenade that I used to give to people.
Another useful thing, you guys, is rope. A lot of people don't know how to bind tether, but rope is everything. It's your strings, it's your shirts, it's your belts, it's your what holds everything together. It's your lines that holds your clothes off the ground. It's what holds your tent up if you need to hold your tent up. It holds every bit of your foundation if you're trying to build a shelter to get out of bad weather. So yeah, I would say string. If you don't know how to roll string or make string with your bare hands, look up primitive ways to make twine, because it's very easy, and you can make it even out of plastic bags, and you can make it out of resources you never would have realized until you start making it. And then even your own hair, say you're someone with really long hair in a life or death situation, a head full of hair will make a good 7-foot rope. And if you're to make bows out of that, it's, believe it or not, hair is really
A head
reliable.
full of hair. Everybody have long hair like Rex. You can make bows out of your hair.
Well, surprisingly, if it would happen, you're going to be in a situation with two people, and more than likely be a male and a female. So 50-50 chance one of you guys is going to have long hair if you needed that bow in a life or death
actually
situation.
make a bow out of human hair? Like,
yeah,
some of those...
it's really strong. It's really strong material. Really strong. Human hair is one of the strongest materials you can make bows, bowstrings, or horsehair. They use horsehair and violin strings because it's so thick. And the sound that it makes.
Not human hair.
I agree. But they learned this technique from using human hair before, and then they started moving on to other creatures' hairs and other things, and then found out that horsehair is way better than human hair. But they used to make the instruments like that out of human hair.
Okay, here you go.
Check out the human hair banjo. There's a 2-string or 1-string banjo made from human hair. And people used to get a can and a stick, and they would braid it with their own hair or their beard hair to do it, and they would. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty funny. So it's always important to be prepared. I think if you live in a hot climate, you definitely want to have a lot of water. Like, that would definitely be one of the main things you should probably look for is keeping a lot of clean water. And not only that, guys, but bleach, I think, is more important than most people would think. People wouldn't even think about it, but like you can use it to sorry, I'm kind of doing something in the background here, but you can use it for purifying water and stuff. Like,
really?
If you have a like water that comes from a creek or a lake and you don't know if it's clean, the rule of thumb, like you can add like a teaspoon to like a few gallons of it, and it will basically work as a purifier. Like, let's see, how much bleach to disinfect water. So what's the ratio? So 2 drops of unscented household bleach per 1 liter or quart of water, and let it stand for 30 minutes.
Yeah, so I was looking. I thought it was a drop.
2 drops for 1 liter or 1 quart, and you can disinfect water, and then you won't get dysentery and you won't get sick. And that's like a big thing. You don't want to get dysentery when you're trying to survive.
No.
Yeah, other stuff too. Getting water in the long term. So survival is one thing, and saying I need it now. But realistically, you're going to have to come to the point of understanding on how to make a well. You're going to have a way that can generate water for you. And they used to do this. The whole world used to have wells. That's why we still have them today. And we still use them
Yeah.
today in certain places. So understanding on how to and understanding where water starts to generate, it's about anywhere about under a foot of the surface. If you're on a flat plane anywhere, you're going to start to
Yeah.
generate. So at the base of a mountain, you're going to start about 1 foot in, you're going to start to generate some moisture. About 3 feet in, you're going to start to accumulate about an inch of water puddling at the base, and so on and so forth. So when you get these wells, they wouldn't be full to the top, but they would usually be set to where your feet would stand, a little bit less than that. And that's because how much water will accumulate in a duct like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So bleach, good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
What else? How
There
do
you
you
make.
make? You know what a really important thing is to have too, guys, is antibiotics.
Yeah.
And there's a way to make your own antibiotics, and it's more simple than you would think.
Mold.
Mold. Well,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if it's just as simple as
yeah,
mold.
no, bread and oranges. If you let the mold, if you collect I believe it's the green mold, not blue mold, you get penicillin, and so you can generate a simple form of penicillin that way.
Let's see
But
here. How to make homemade antibiotics. So it says it's not safe or effective. Okay, obviously for YouTube watching, you shouldn't do this. It's not safe or effective to make homemade antibiotics, and you should never.
it will cause problems like diarrhea. It can cause you to be sick. This is on a life or threat survival
Yeah,
situation, meaning
you can't
like
really get
last
it
resort.
from here, but there's 12. Like, I don't even want to tell you just in case YouTube gets me in trouble, but there are like home remedies, like things that can really help you, like turmeric for one, guys. Turmeric or grapefruit seed extract, garlic is like a really amazing, like natural kind of
And
antibiotic, if you want to say that kind of thing.
honey.
And
Honey.
honey works good. But
Honey's got
yeah,
some really interesting stuff, man. They found honey in Egyptian pyramids and pulled it out, and it's still good, holding its fractal pattern after thousands of years being in there. That's something.
oh,
It's not only an antibiotic, but it has probiotic effects as well. And not only that, but it can fix burns. So say, anybody ever watched the Book of Eli here? The sun acted out in that, and the whole world got pretty toasted. And at that point, you would have honey. It's a good way to treat natural burns as well. Pulls the burn out.
yeah, it's good. I heard honey's good too. And so, what else, guys? I got a list here. If you want to take this down,
Onions.
um,
Onions have a lot of detox effects.
Yeah,
Detox.
onions.
yeah, you got. I don't know though. Do they like? There's some people think
They
you can
do.
put onions on your feet and they turn black and it's supposed to suck
They
toxins
do.
out, but it's actually just like oxidization. It's not like they're not sucking toxins out and turning black. So you got to kind of be careful what you tell people. Well, to be honest, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying like,
To do the research to understand. Not everything comes the way. Turmeric isn't really that good for you unless you add black peppercorn. It has the
uh,
properties, but once you add black pepper to it, it actually makes the healing effects. So there is research that needs to be done with everything that's said.
I don't think
But
you have to add black pepper to turmeric. You can just take it.
check it out. Check this one out. I did some research on this one, and this one was a big one because I was taking a lot of this stuff for a while when I had cancer, and I was told it's supposed to
Yeah, I don't
happen.
want to talk
And
about that. I will definitely get in trouble if you talk about that on my channel, bro. Please
Yeah.
okay.
don't be bringing up the
Oh,
C word and like
oh,
saying vitamins
I
healed
didn't.
you. Like, I'll get in so much trouble for medical information. Like, it's not that I don't believe you. It's just that's more of a rumble type of topic.
I was just saying it was something I was trying to
That
take
helped you.
as something help. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not saying it helped, but because it
Okay.
made it worse. And I was
Oh,
told by
okay.
the doctors the effect that they
Okay,
were
let's
talking
just
about or
drop it
spoken
though.
about comes
Let's
from
stop talking about
peppercorn.
it. So here's 12 things that you guys should keep in your house: oregano or oregano oil, raw apple cider vinegar, This is honey, like Rex was saying, turmeric, grapefruit seed extract, garlic. Garlic is really good for getting rid of germs and keeping you from catching colds and stuff. Echinacea, cabbage, surprisingly, which is really good for eating as well. Extra virgin coconut olive oil, which is like an antifungal and an antimicrobial. And fermented foods, super good for you. Fermented foods, sauerkraut, fermented cabbage, pickles, and
Kimchi.
last but not least is colloidal silver. So those are all things that you guys can keep as like holistic health in the event of a massive solar flare or something that's going to knock out, the power grid for a while, and you won't have access to go to like a pharmacy or whatever, right?
Yes, the last one you said, I would suggest everybody to diligently do their research on colloidal silver.
Yeah.
Just do it. If you're here and you want to know, like Nick said, I'm not going to give you medical information about it, but diligently do your research because there is some very interesting facts about colloidal silver.
Yeah, do it. And I'm gonna try and drop a link in the chat for that survival grenade thing that I used to be giving away to people, and a lot of people found it very helpful, and it was only like $3 or something. It was really cheap, and I'll put a link in the video description after. If I can even still find it, that's why I haven't been 100% with you guys right now, because I'm kind of looking for it right now. So yeah. How do you spell grenade? GRENADE?
I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to say that one online. Don't spell that one
Yeah,
out loud.
you could say grenade. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Yeah, you can definitely say grenade. You just can't give out medical advice or like say, "Oh, this cured me," or like do this, or it'll give you these amazing results. Or you can say the word grenade.
Just don't tell anybody what cures you.
Yeah, because it's classified as medical information, and people might stop taking their doctor prescribed drugs and like go, oh, I can get cured by taking this. I don't need to continue with my chemo or whatever. And it's just you can get in a lot of trouble for saying stuff like that. Unfortunately, Rex. Unfortunately,
I see the toppling system that's at bay there.
Yeah, it's just the world that we live in. But yeah, man. So
back to this G4 3 impact storm coming in tonight.
Yeah, like what else do you say about the whole survival thing? Is there any other tips, like maybe any of either of you guys got?
Well, if you do want to try to serve, now this is for all you crazies out there that have that energy and ADHD. You could definitely dig yourself something 15 feet and bury your favorite electronics there. But mind you, you may have saved your electronics.
A Faraday box, like a Faraday cage.
Yep. Yeah. But this is the thing. You may have saved your electronics, but the rest of the world may have not. So just because you have something there, you may not be able to charge it, use it, or anything. So you may be wasting a lot of time digging a 15-foot hole. You got access to a cave in your backyard or old winery cellar in the back.
A 15-foot hole. You just need to build a Faraday cage, and it needs to be built out of the right type of metal, and it will protect it from.
For poor people, it's easier to dig a hole. True, but you're gonna need copper plate. You got to get copper plates and triple copper plates.
Copper.
They got to be about
copper. What do you need to make a?
Look up triple copper plated. Protects against EMP, and you'll be really surprised.
I'm just looking right now. To make a ferret. Oh no, a ferret dig cage. It's bringing up things for ferret cage, like the animals.
Faraday.
It's like, oh, wires.
Don't want you to know what that cage is.
Yeah, so if you're raising if you're raising ferrets, this is how you do it. Faraday.
I do have a
cage.
ferret. He's pretty awesome.
Oh, you still got him?
Yeah, heck yeah, I gave him to my grandma, and she loves him. It's awesome. I go check on him all the time because my
Well, I
turtles are
know
up there.
they only live like 8 years or something at the most.
Oh no, they're like 16 years, bro. My buddy Nathan had one that was 20. Yes, look it up.
No,
In the wild, they have a shorter lifespan, but in
they
captivity,
don't
it's way
live
higher.
20 years. I've had like 4 of them.
Look up world record for longest lasting ferret real quick.
Yeah, that's the world record for them. That's not the average lifespan.
But it's so much longer than you would expect. You're gonna be like, no way, this thing
But I've
lived
had
140
4
years.
of them, dude. I've had 4 of them in my life. I know.
What you feeding
I
them?
had ones
What
that
you feeding them?
I fed them Origin, which was like super expensive, like super biologically appropriated food with like no corn, no wheat, like all meat and fats. And like I took really good care of them. My one lived probably 13, 14 years. She was so old, she was blind in both eyes, walking around, banging into things.
See, then I found your answer. Nate didn't take care of his. It walked around their house, and their house was nasty, and they stepped on it. It was paralyzed from the back end. I don't know. It lived for 21 years. I'm telling you, they got pictures of it when they were
21
kids.
years, dude. I don't
21
believe
years before it died. I mean it. They got pictures of this thing. It's their house pet. It literally was there when they were little kids, and they got pictures of them from
And
their
you can make
babies.
Faraday cages out of aluminum foil. You don't need like triple copper plates. So like,
Yeah, but you're gonna make it a lot for a black. You're talking about a small Faraday cage for natural disasters. We're talking about extreme and like a global event that hasn't happened. You'd have to be talking extreme situations.
well,
You'd
I'm
go like
saying,
100.
I'm
Everybody go
telling
out there and
you,
make
if there's a solar flare, solar storm coming, and you want to protect electronics, you can make a Faraday cage out of like aluminum, and it will bounce off the EMPs.
Yeah, I've seen them do that where you get like a solar dish, a big enough solar dish, and wrap it like 3 times completely in aluminum foil, and you put like a little
Oh,
pocket in the ground and set it on top of it, and then bury the lips of the thing. It might work. I have never tried it.
there you go.
It's not, So, but like I say, the other one I do know works for a fact is being at least 15 feet in the ground. They tested a lot of military equipment to see where EMPs and stuff would and wouldn't affect over the
I
years, and
believe
15
that would
feet
work. Yeah.
seems to be pretty close to like safe zone from something from the sun. Because the things that they test on Earth, man, are direct. Like they get them as high as it is, from the sun, and they're trying to test that, and then they're doing it directly. Like we're right here underneath the magnetic field and stuff like that, and it's like, so I think and the military gear, man, they got a lot of stuff that is made for this event. The government's very aware, and you can see that there's a lot of things set in stone we pay taxes for, just for preparations, just like an event like this. And they do have a lot of military vehicles that are completely just triple copper plated, man. Like even if it was like a state of war for EMPs, they got triple copper plated a lot. And then you start to do the research on what that exactly is, and it's pretty intense. It's completely sealed. It's interesting stuff, man. Most of the stuff is encased in these platings. They have to like not be exposed to the real world and like avoid.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I tried to figure out how to do it, but I definitely don't have the money for it, so I got over it real fast. The government's the only person got money to do all that crap.
So yeah, I'm gonna put a link. This is the exact same one that I used to. Yeah, APE survival. This is the exact same one. So I'm gonna put a link in the. I'm gonna put a link, guys, and let's have at least one active. Okay, I thought I did. I'm gonna put a link in there, guys, for you guys to get this if you so choose. I know a lot of people really, really enjoyed it when I used to give it away on my old account, and they really liked it. So I'm going to put a link on there at the end, so you guys can go check out the description link, and yeah, do that, okay? At the end of the show, I will put a link in the description for this survival grenade thing, and it's like a 15-piece survival kit, and it's like the shape of a little grenade, and it's got basically all the bare essentials you would need to survive in case something like this happened. And it's super small. You can carry it around with you, fishing hooks, striker rods, all that cool stuff. So at the end of our show, I'll put it in the video description. Hey, Sean, I haven't seen you forever, dude. Sean Black, Chicago. It's been so long since I've seen you. How you doing, bro? I check out some of your music sometimes on your page. He plays guitar and like does his music, and I pop by there and check you out sometimes. But I haven't. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot of stuff you guys can do to prepare if there is a solar storm coming. And one of them is just to keep checking out the solar activity pages from like space.com or like wherever it comes from, because it takes a few minutes for these storms to reach Earth. So we do have a bit of advance notice. I don't know. What does
How
it
long?
take? I don't know.
Well, right now we're
9 minutes.
Right now we're at third. No, it's a lot longer than that. We get the first initial burst by visual effects, so we can visually see. But depending on how intense these storms are, they can go a lot fast. Like this storm is going a lot faster. It should have taken 7-8 days for it to get here, but because the first initial 3 bursts happened so simultaneously, they merged together to be a larger burst. So some of these effects
it
can
takes
be
8 minutes says it takes 8 minutes for the electromagnetic radiation from the flare to reach Earth, but it can take anywhere from a few hours to several days for the charged particles from a solar storm like the coronal mass ejection to arrive. So you could have anywhere from a few hours to a few days to prepare. And Adam, you were talking about something before we even went live, which is a really good idea, and that's a CB radio.
Yeah.
And not so much a
sad
CB,
problem,
but a shortwave radio. You know, like a ham radio that you have at your house. Not so much like a CB that you use in like big trucks and stuff, but a ham radio.
No, you can hook those CB radios up to a car battery and have an external power supply, right? And
that's true. That's true too.
Yeah, they don't take that much power. Those
ham radios go a lot further, don't they?
They do, but I feel people don't see the severity of what this does. This doesn't just alter the ground like electronics. These affect batteries that are in space that are detached from the grid as well. And these will affect car batteries. Super true, but he was talking about like cars.
Yeah,
the likelihood if we had a global event where this affected, there won't be cars. There will be dead cars everywhere.
You don't need to hook it up in your car. You could just use a car battery and have it hooked up.
But the battery itself is what's going to. So what happens is these energies get so massive, they basically overwhelm the batteries and cause these batteries to fail. That's kind of almost the same effect of how it affects humans and animals on planet Earth. We get so overcharged, it causes mental issues, anxieties, depressions, just like you see in the animals. Before a big earthquake happens, they start bouncing off the walls.
April,
that's just a mass amount of energy that starts to bring in.
You're right, but if there was like an apocalyptic event, I don't think anyone would be worried about being certified in ham radio to use it. You know what I mean? I don't think you'd be worried about, I'm not certified, I might get in trouble. Like if there was like a dark aging apocalyptic event, but like you would want to learn how to use it for sure. So if that's part of the certification, then get certified, learn how to use it. There's actually like ham radio clubs and stuff that do it for fun. So that would be like one of the only ways that you could stay in communication with people is if you had your ham radio in a Faraday cage and a battery source in a Faraday cage, like Rex was saying, and then you could
be checking. Yep. For anybody else who has done the same steps and procedures to get that far. But this is the thing, there ain't going to be many. So what you're going to be dialing in, you could have a guy in France and you could be in the United States. So like, unless this becomes like a thing where it was like, we probably should be saving these things and taking that to a real thing, it isn't going to affect much. The biggest thing is going to be keeping your families close, keeping medical supplies on hand, being able to have bandages and supplies. Because if this happens, there's a lot of talk. This could stop if this hits directly. The pole shift is a big thing that people talk, and an indicator that they sometimes question with this event. The world could come to a complete shift. It could go the other direction, and with that could come people flailing all over the place, and floods and earthquakes and other disasters. So once again, the severity of it is just like Revelation says. There will be earthquakes, and there will be it's going to be so devastating. You're going to know. So the best thing is in a situation like that, I believe, is to be right with God. I know it sounds dumb there to some people, but it's absolutely not. If there's one power in the universe going to keep you alive in an event like this, it's going to be God, for God's purpose. And so be serving it. And I'm pretty sure that no matter what you go through, God will take care of you.
And it's not, well, amen to that. And if God wants you to go, you're going to go. If God wants you to stay, you're going to stay. And it's not like the poles haven't shifted. Like, this could happen. Like, apparently they've, in recorded history, the poles have shifted like over 180 times. They've already done shifts and flips and stuff. So, you know, what that would do to the planet is still up for debate, but like, it probably wouldn't be very good, I would imagine.
Well, here's another scary thing. The Bible talks about the oceans dying off. Well, that's exactly a word people don't look up often. The ocean die off.
Well,
the ocean's actually been slowly, its natural streams have been slowly
it talks
dying.
about all the fish in the sea, I believe, dying, I think, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Well, look into that a little bit. These solar effects have been affecting our ocean, the ocean currents. And so we have currently been, the scientists are terrified. And if you look into this one, this has been going on for like the last year and a half. It's not, I don't know why it's not, well, I do and I don't. But it's not broadcasted everywhere because
like,
of the
just
severity
because
of
there
it.
was a solar storm that knocked out power, that doesn't mean it's an end times biblical event.
Yeah, definitely not. The world can move on. It's just this one is currently the worst one we've ever seen. So, not saying it's not a biblical event either. God says no man shall know. But when you're looking at the signs, this is very similar to those signs. So just precaution with all. You know what I mean? And it's not meant to scare nobody. I don't want anybody being scared. The last thing you need to be is falling into Satan's hands, running in fear. Whatever is going on, it's always meant to have been going on. You know what I mean? But just like if you were to survive, everybody's been surviving from the day you're born. You've been surviving to this point. If you can be confident,
The Bible doesn't mention outer space. It probably got flat earther in here. Yeah, because the authors of the Bible, the authors of the Bible didn't know about planets back then, bro. They didn't use the words planets. It says wandering stars and heavens and suns and moons. They didn't have the word planet. Doesn't mean there's no planets. Like, you know?
Outer space is an American terminology, anyways. It's not like the whole world. Outer space is the word because
the Bible
live in the inner space.
The Bible also doesn't have the word Bible in it. It doesn't mean there's no Bible in it.
But literally,
the also
space, outer space,
Trinity in it.
Outer space is known as outer space because we are living in the inner space. They had to have a terminology.
I'm not even going to get into that flat Earth thing.
Well, I mean, I get the flat Earth thing, but the reason why they preach about the inner and outer thing is because when they were making up these words, it's written, you can read that they needed a word for what was the opposite of the inner space that we live in, and so that became the outer space.
They definitely knew stuff back then. Like Aristotle knew the world was round like thousands of years ago, man. Yeah. Like, you know, I can't believe flat Earth is even a thing still. Look up the final experiment on Wikipedia. There was like
that's why
100 or 200 scientists went down to Antarctica and they brought like 40 or 50 of like the most well-known predominant like flat earthers out there, and they proved without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is in fact a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And all the flat earthers
I agree
all
with
the
you.
Flat earthers that went down there were like, oh, okay, I'll look it up, I'll put it on screen. Like, even after this, they're so like, what's it called? Cognitive dissonance. They just like will not accept. It doesn't matter how much evidence you give them. They will not accept that the Earth isn't flat. It doesn't matter.
I can prove all those flat earthers. I can prove wrong too, because I was down that theory to figure out the truth of the nature. The world is an expanse, like the Bible says. And as meteors and stuff keeps paling into the world, it keeps adding mass to our planet, and the world continues to slowly expand, but it is a round sphere.
Even
It's just getting
Jeranism,
slightly larger over the years.
Even Jeranism, who was like one of the biggest flat earthers on YouTube from back in the day, the original Jeranism, he even has come out and said he was wrong, and now he believes the world is not flat anymore. Even Jeranism. And if any
But
flat
the one thing I don't argue with is hollow earth theory. I stick to that one 1,000%. I believe that they're
stick to a lot of stuff, Rex. I know.
I do, man. I believe there's good cultures up inside that dirt somewhere, like an anthill.
Check this out. This is the final experiment expedition. You can check it out on Wikipedia. It had happened in 2024. This is why I can't believe people still try and hold to this theory. So in 2024, there was an expedition to Antarctica to test the validity of modern flat Earth beliefs. It marked the first time that any modern flat Earth proponents have traveled to Antarctica. The expedition, which took 3 years of preparation, was organized by Will Duffy, an American Christian pastor, he was probably sick of flat earthers trying to use Christianity to prove flat Earth. So it was an American Christian pastor who organized it. He invited a total of 48 online content creators, so like some of the biggest flat earther channels on YouTube, to Antarctica to witness the midnight sun, because that's like one of the things that flat earthers have been saying for years, that there's no such thing as a 24-hour sun, even in Antarctica. Doesn't exist. So this is a natural phenomenon that contradicts most flat Earth beliefs. The actual expedition included both flat earthers and globe earthers. And after traveling from Chile to a Union Glacier camp in West Antarctica, expedition members live streamed the midnight sun for several days. The participating flat earthers all admitted that the midnight sun was a real phenomenon.
Yes.
But get this, the larger flat earth community has largely rejected the results and accused the participants, including the flat earthers, of having faked the expedition and of being part of a larger conspiracy to promote the spherical earth. Like, it doesn't matter like what you show them for evidence. Like, they're literally like, it's so
I feel like the government nitpicks at flat earthers to keep them from the fact of the hollow earth thing, man. Like I keep trying to say, if you keep trying to see, there are lands. We already know that there are lands that are withheld from the public in general because they're military bases and other things. See, these flat earthers know they exist, and they go and they get these maps and they start seeing these blank spots. They don't realize that those lands were already known in like the 1500s.
Well, we know there's massive caves and stuff in the earth, so I guess technically there could be some weird civilizations living inside of our planet, but I mean...
Well, they just found the largest ocean in the world is actually consistent of the inside. Look up that one. The largest ocean...
It's in a mineral form called wood... What's it called? Wood ore or something. It's not like actual loose floating... Is it
wood? The woodworm?
Oh, it's not woodworm. It might be. It's not. Anyway, it's not liquid. It's not in a liquid state. It's in like a mineral state. And like if it were in a liquid state, yeah, it would be like the biggest ocean, like times 5 or whatever. There's a whole bunch of water locked up in some what's it called?
I'll be right back, guys.
Aquifer.
No, it's called
Cascadian or whatever.
Massive. I'll look it up. Massive ocean inside the earth. What you're talking about is true. I remember hearing about it and reading about it. It's massive underground water reservoir, potentially larger than it's water. It's called ringwoodite. Here, let me bring it up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So,
I remember it being called that.
Yeah, it's a massive underground water reservoir, potentially larger than all surface oceans combined, exists deep within the Earth's mantle, specifically in the transition zone around 700 kilometers below the surface. This isn't liquid ocean, but rather water trapped within crystal structure of a mineral called ringwoodite. The presence of this, so it's crazy. Like it is there. It's just not in liquid form.
Right, it's in its own liquid form, in a different form of pretty much water, but it's not. It's like a molecule.
It's in like a crystal. It's like a crystal mineral, but like I guess it's technically water.
It's the way water develops under extreme pressures where it can't escape from heat or cold or something like that. I don't.
Pretty cool.
It's really interesting stuff, and honestly, it makes you start to think that maybe the world of Earth is alive. When I started reading that, I was like, dude, that's like a Zonapalooza around a cell.
It's
We're just
crazy.
like we're the skin flakes of the planet, and the planet's just like a cell in space.
And if you went down if you wanted to go down that rabbit hole, if the Earth was like a living organism, we would be like the worst disease and virus that the Earth has ever had.
Yep, we're literally digging at the skin and ripping it up, and volcanoes
Destroying
rupture because we're
everything.
causing infections.
Cutting down all its trees and everything, and just digging into it and taking all its minerals, precious minerals out.
Do you know what the rarest element or the rarest material in the universe is, Nick? I just saw this one. This one is.
It's like I heard it before.
You just said it, man. You just said it.
I did.
Yeah,
What?
and it's gonna really. It's trees.
Oh, really?
All the planets, and all the stuff. There's no life.
That makes sense.
Trees are what causes life here.
Dude, that's crazy. That makes sense. There's like
and we literally chop trees down for pennies, but it's the rarest thing in the universe. It's so crazy.
Yeah, well, so far from what we know, you're right. Like none of the planets and exoplanets or anything that we've discovered have had like any trees on them. You're right.
That's why trees are so sacred and are like in the past and stuff like that. That way they praise, and it's crazy too, because trees have a similar structure in all life, because the brain itself.
You know what's really crazy about the whole Earth being a living organism? I've heard like from astronauts that were out in outer space, they always used to have like a lot of them would have these like reoccurring dreams of like this voice, like the Earth, like calling them back to the planet. It's like the Earth like wants you to die on the planet so you can be like recycled into the Earth. Like really, really crazy, weird, reoccurring dreams that they had.
When I was like,
is that trippy, bro? They're like,
it is.
The Earth's like calling them back to come to the Earth because like you're supposed to die on the planet, and like maybe your soul and your energy just like recycled into this organism. Like I don't obviously believe that because I'm a Christian, but that's a pretty crazy theory and like rabbit hole to think about.
When I was 4 years old, I had this dream that we lived on an eyeball. The whole world is an eyeball, and I know that the world's different than what my dream was at, but it kind of looked like a CD, and all the land was in the middle, and the ocean was the iris, and like God blinked, and it was God's eye, and we were all on God's eye, and it was really weird because I think I was watching like Osmosis Jones or something, man. When I had this dream, it was like between like 4 and like 6 or 7. Osmosis Jones came out, but I went to bed watching this stuff, man, and I totally had a dream that we were like on the body of God. I was like, we were talking in my dream, and they were like, "That's God," and you're like, we were doing. It was crazy because, dude, I woke up, so we were like supposed to make God not like sit. It was just weird. We're like, just like Osmosis Jones, we're like trying to keep his body from like getting sick. And they're like, if he gets sick, we get sick, and then like. Bro, I woke up with a sickness for 3 days after that dream. I had a horrible fever. I was puking. My mom thought I had food poisoning, but I tried to tell her it was my dream, man. It was like a night terror. I woke up out of that, and everything that was going on just escalated to my fever myself. It's like my body was telling me I was about to have a fever. Wow. Or Palooza effect or whatever. Maybe I psyched myself out to get myself sick, but I was so sick for 3 days after that. But for years, up until I was like started going to church and stuff, I always just kind of thought that I was like, we're just living on God's eye, and the darkness is in the eyelid, and
that's that's crazy.
And then I started growing up, and people started telling me, and I started seeing like the world a different ways. And I was like, dude, I was so wrong.
Yeah, but that's a weird dream, hey? Some dreams that people have are so crazy.
I used to tell my mom that one all the time. I'd always try to talk to her about it, and she always told me just like to let it go. It's just a dream. But it was so cool. It was
really a cool movie. Osmosis Jones. That was a cool movie, wasn't it?
It was, dude. Yeah, man. That one had me because of that dream in my life. Osmosis Jones was like a big. I talked about it for like 7 years after, telling people how I had that dream and got sick afterwards.
Came out in 2001. Yeah, I remember that had Bill Murray in it.
Yeah,
I had been like 6 or 7 then, from 91. So what? 2001.
Do you remember?
Maybe 11. I was 11.
Do you remember Rick and Morty when he like made the amusement park inside the bum?
Oh yeah, that's so funny. And they had him like the giant sized him over Christmas, and he like,
Yeah.
and, like
His cock was like floating around that one state.
straight up, just
Uh,
dies on
that
top of
was
the entire United
so.
States.
That show was so funny, man. I wish they would make a new season and reboot it.
The problem is the guy that originally started was kind of the jokes were adult. The guy was very perverted, got in trouble, so they started
Yeah, but
using new
he
cast
got
and crew.
he
And
didn't
since
like
then,
he
it's kind
got
of
proved like innocent. Like he never actually did anything. Like they tried to say he was like messing with like minors or something, but he wasn't. Like he didn't he get like acquitted?
yeah, it's just all of his jokes, man. He got attacked really hard for the jokes that come out on there. Like it's Rick and Morty sticking like space berries in your butt, smuggling them
Oh,
to
that was
space
hilarious though.
for grandpa. You know, it's just
That
it
was
is what it is.
hilarious. He's like showed him this thing he had to put in his butt. It was like the hugest, like most painful.
You gotta save the universe, Morty. You gotta save the world, Morty. Stick these berries up your butt.
Yeah, your butt's nice and tight.
It's like a big old berry. It's like the biggest berry ever. It's like,
was like
dude,
a
you could have asked
giant,
for a pineapple, couldn't you?
Quickly looking stone or something. It was like so painful looking. That was freaking funny, that movie.
Dude, Rick and Morty, man.
They're going through the airport and they like make him walk through that thing. He's like, "What's this for?" He's like, "This is to check and make sure you got nothing. Put up your butt." And he's like, "Run, Morty,
run!" He's right. He just put up his butt for no reason.
Yeah.
I never understood that show.
What
It's
is
just funny as hell.
What is there to understand? It's just hilarious.
It's just dumb. It's stupid. It's just meant to be dumb, bro. Just to just do it. To just be that stupid. It's like a.
Did you ever
What was
watch
that?
it? Like it's so funny, bro.
Bro, I got all of it. I got all the seasons. We
Yo,
could
I'm
have
talking
Rick
to
and
Adam.
Morty. Oh, Adam, you gotta watch at least a few episodes.
Episode, it's dumb.
You gotta watch you gotta watch the season. It is dumb, but the point of it, you got to start it from the beginning and move forward. If you just keep jumping in, it's so random
Literally,
that
like
you
the
may never
funniest
really
cartoon
understand.
I've ever seen. It's so hilarious.
I prefer my Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, wow.
Oh, bro, Beavis and Butthead are just as great. I'll tell you, if you like Beavis and Butthead, you definitely got to give Rick and Morty a secondary chance.
Morty's on like a whole nother level though. It's so funny, bro. Remember that episode when he's like, "Ship, protect Summer." Remember that one? Protect Summer. And she's like sitting in the
Oh
ship.
yeah, and it's like destroying everything, and she's out crying,
like,
and it's like,
you guys,
please, ship, stop killing the world.
Yeah, don't kill anyone. And then the ship's like, confirmed, won't kill anyone. Then like that guy comes up and it like this little laser
Starts
comes
turning
out
them into aliens.
No, this little laser came out and just like cut a cord in his spine, and his legs just instantly like fall, and he's like a blob on the ground, but he's like still alive.
Right? He's like, I won't kill these people. They just won't get to you, Summer.
And then the cop, he like made that cop think his dead son was alive, and like had like this psychological breakdown.
So messed up.
It was so
Rick and
good.
Morty's so wild, but it's got some jokes in there, man, that I just think that it's crazy because Rick and Morty was that line between what people have accepted.
So
I remember
awesome.
waking up one morning, dude, with the kids, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and Rick and Morty is standing over America, flipping off. Rick's flipping off America. I was like, what?
Oh, it
Nobody
was
get away with
so
that.
awesome how they portrayed Obama. Remember? The president?
He's like a dude from Uganda or something. It's so funny.
the
Every
president?
time I see it, I think Planet of the Apes. I'm like, dude, they're like totally portraying some vibe from Planet of
It
the
was
Apes
so
this whole
funny when
way.
he became a turkey.
Right? Yeah,
It's
man. There's
so
some
good.
pretty good
It's so
episodes.
good. You gotta, and the thing I liked about it is it wasn't only a comedy. They mixed like drama in with it too. Like when he was hunting the universe, trying to find himself that destroyed his whole family, and like when he finally found like the anti-Rick, remember? And he like killed him, and there was like a lot of like drama, like sadness to it too. Like it was.
Oh yeah, when you speak of Easter eggs, man, Rick and Morty holds like the key door to Easter eggs. Like, dude, you see Back to the Future, there you go, right there, Rick and Morty. It's like it's nonstop Easter eggs.
About it forever, but like it's definitely one of my favorite cartoons of all time.
Speaking of Rick and Morty, do you remember that episode where they were going around to go party to the universe as planets were being destroyed? And the first one they chose, their son was going through an event that was about to wipe out their whole planet.
That's right. That chick that had elbow tits.
That thought,
Let's
look
not
at
talk about it
these.
anymore, though. Let's not talk about it because Adam hasn't really seen it, and like the show's not about Rick and Morty, but it is an
Yeah,
awesome.
we're spoiling it for all you guys.
Well, they've probably seen it.
Everybody
Anyways,
came here to watch. Everybody came to watch about the sun,
Did
and they're like, "Dude,
anybody
you just
do
ruined Rick and Morty for me."
did anybody watch the new King of the Hill reboot yet?
No,
Oh man, not
I
yet.
have.
But I love King of the Hill.
Oh, me too. It was one of my favorite shows. I was so happy. I was so mad that Disney owns the rights to it now. Disney screws everything up. It used to be owned by Fox, but I'm still happy that they remade. They did. They made 2 seasons. They're both out already, but
well,
they're not.
Disney owns Fox, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, they made 2
Dude.
seasons. They only released 1 season, but they made 2. They signed a contract to do 2 seasons, so there's already 2 made. So they're going to release the second reboot season soon. That I can't wait.
With Bobby all old?
But yeah, I'm happy they did it. I some things I didn't like when Boomhauer, like they really aged Boomhauer like really hardcore for some reason. More than the other
years
ones.
and partying.
But,
you
like,
never talk because
yeah.
of the party.
But I don't know if you guys haven't seen it yet. I won't give too much of it away. But yeah, I'm happy they did a reboot after all these years, and it's like the first cartoon ever that basically made the characters age. Like every cartoon, the characters never age. Like the Simpsons have been going since like 1989 for like 35 years, and they never aged.
What about Dragon Ball Z, man? They started off with Goku as a child. He grew up and had kids and
I never
died.
watched Ball Z. I was never got too much into the anime stuff.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's still kicking it these days. There was a spot where Joe Biden was in charge, and it started getting kind of woke. But now that Trump got back in power, it started getting cool again.
My brothers watched it when we were in like grades 5, grade 6. They used to watch it every morning before school, but I never got into it. I was watching the X-Men cartoon.
Dude, I loved X-Men. That's our future, man. Watch out, y'all. His son's gonna give everybody X-Men powers. I claim the guy that gets a teleport everywhere.
Yeah. What's
Nightcrawler? He was so awesome.
There's one dude that's like extremely like OP, like overrated. Like I think it's Gambit. The guy who just like takes off his visor and can like destroy everything. He like shoots laser.
Oh, the Cyclops, Scott. Yeah, Scott's crazy.
Isn't it Gambit? Isn't his name Gambit?
I think that Gambit is one of the guys that died priorly that had almost a similar effect. He's the guy that had the ace cards.
Yeah, but I thought he also shot like a laser out of his. Let's see, Gambit X-Men. Oh, yeah, that's not him. Who's the guy that I'm thinking about?
His name's the Cyclops. It's Scott.
Oh, the Cyclops.
Scott's the.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, his power is pretty crazy. Could you imagine like staring at like the ground with that power for like just like for a while?
I wonder what his vision is.
It's all red. It shows you in some of the movies that he can absolutely, he can see, but it's like got blast. You can see the energy blasting out of his eyes. So he's seeing, but it's like a red, like.
Everyone likes Wolverine, but he's like the lamest. Like he's just like, hey, dude, he has like an exo metal skeleton and like has these little claws that come like this far. Like, all he can do is smell like an animal, and like he's like, I don't know, compared to some of the powers that the other X-Men have.
Yeah, the only reason why they like him is because he's almost immortal, and that all goes down the Deadpool thing. And honestly, if I had to pick one or the other, Deadpool's got like a sense of humor, so it'd be me with Deadpool at that day. The guy's at least got a reason to laugh about the crap. Like Logan is so grouchy about everything. Like, yeah, I get you survived the war, but like, wouldn't you be happy? Like, yay, the war happened. Look at all these beautiful humans that are still alive today.
Aloha hugs. I read in ancient words, alien sept the intelligence, but did not get to Brett or have human. For I have had 3 encounters. Okie dokie.
Pretty sure I may have had encounters too, but it doesn't matter, bro. What's it doing for your self-esteem?
Armor up, Ephesians. Buckle up, Buttercup. Jesus loves you. Heavenly Father loves you. That's a lot of love. Never give up. Jesus never. Yeah, I agree with you. Amen to that. I don't know about you having encounters with aliens. I tend to think aliens are just demons, actually. But who knows?
Oh, I live here. I live here in Arizona, so I have encounters with aliens all the time.
Have you had encounters with aliens all the time?
Yeah, I usually buy burritos and tacos from them, but
I mean, besides just like seeing UFOs in the sky, like have you ever actually like been abducted or like kind of, you know?
oh no, I always thought the UFOs were the ones that were selling the tacos. I thought that's how they got over here.
Yeah. I know like Arizona is a hotbed for UFO sightings and stuff. I don't know what to think anymore. Like I'm not a flat earther, so that being said, like the universe is huge. Like there would have to be some kind of intelligent life out there. Like the only way to believe there would be to be a flat earther and believe planet Earth is like basically the only planet in the whole system in the entire universe. That's it. Just us. Planet Earth, that's it. Which to me
I don't know.
diminishes and insults God's power to say God can't create this huge, amazing universe that he did create to limit his power down to just this like flat disc with a bubble over it. It's kind of
I
insulting
think
to God.
I think science kind of ruined it for me under this factor because like 15 years ago they put water bears. It's like an amoeba into space and it survived just fine. And so if there's something that can survive in space from our planet, I'm pretty sure there's crap
Yeah.
out there.
Well, if the space is as big as they say it is, and I believe it is, then there's definitely something out there, dude. You ever heard of Frank Drake? He was like a famous physicist. He made the Drake equation. Let's
Oh
see.
yeah. It's impossible. With that equation, it's absolutely impossible. Pretty much, either the chances of us being is the one and only, or literally
And
there's
he did it,
very
and
massed amounts of life.
he formulated the Drake equation just in our own Milky Way galaxy alone. So
Yo,
let's
bro, no, there's. I think that's the theory where he talks about that life. He believes that if life is under that equation, that we're at the very end of the universe. That life had already flourished through the whole universe, and we're at the
no.
very.
His equation is how many. So the Drake equation is a formula that estimates the number of active communicative extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy alone by multiplying 7 factors, formulated in 1961 by astrophysicist Frank Drake. It serves as a framework for scientific discussion, blah, blah, blah. N is the number of civilizations in our galaxy, which communication might be possible. R, R is the average rate of star formations in the Milky Way. So, like, let's see here. What is his Drake equation? It is N. Let's see.
Man, we're gonna go down this. I know you didn't want to do it, but Three Eye Atlas is probably, if there's life in the universe, is going to be the first proof that we ever had of it.
What is his equation? Like they tell us what it is, but what is the? Yeah, you can
It's
talk
probably
about
going to be.
Sky Atlas. I don't care.
Well, speaking of frequencies, they believe that that thing's putting off frequencies. It's not. It didn't lose its mass like they thought. They thought it was going to lose mass when it went behind the sun, and actually didn't. It's a reverse direction. There was a lot of famous scientists coming out and like, it's got to be aliens if it reversed direction for any reason or moves in its direction. It did move its direction. It's crazy that it came into our universe as like a foreign object that we've never seen from a direction we've never seen nothing come from, and then just like casually travel through our solar system, planet by planet by planet. And it looks like its final stop before it's out of here is Earth,
So
which
here's
is the dominant planet.
his his equation was so putting all of the things into factor, which was like stars formed per year. So R1 is 1 year, is the stars formed per year on the average over the life of the galaxy. That was regarded as conservative, an estimate. And then FP was 1/5 to half of all stars formed will have planets. NE was 1 to 5 stars with planets will have between 1 to 5 planets capable of developing life. FL equals 100% of these planets will 1 equals 100% of these planets will develop life. And these are like all of his calculations. And his conclusion was somewhere between 500,000. There's somewhere between 500,000 and 100 million civilizations intelligent civilizations capable of communication in our Milky Way galaxy alone. Like, that's how big space is. So this guy's saying there's 500,000 to 100 million intelligent civilizations that you could communicate with in our Milky Way galaxy alone, based on all the factors of star lives, length of star lives, how many stars there are just in the Milky Way, how many planets are estimated to be around each star in the Milky Way. Like, space is like unbelievably huge. Like, the human brain can't even comprehend how big space is. Like, it's mind-boggling, dude. And that's just in the Milky Way, right? And that's what, one of between 100 and 200 billion galaxies that they've recorded,
Exactly.
so that they've counted so far. So imagine that. Like, he's saying a minimum of 500,000 to 100 million intelligent civilizations in our own Milky Way galaxy, which is just one of 100 to 200 billion galaxies so far counted. Like, that's like, it makes your brain want to blow up. It's insane. So, like, getting back to what I was saying, to try and believe or comprehend or say, like, yeah, we're definitely the only intelligent life force in the universe. Like, the only way you could possibly believe that is if like I said, you were a flat earther and you actually believed Earth was flat. And it was the only thing in the universe was just Earth, the sun, and the moon. Right?
Yeah, but even then, if the flat earthers can continue pushing it, because they could say that somewhere out in that flat expanse lives all the other life. They got a prop to it that can argue it, because it's looking at the world in a two-dimensional view.
Flat earthers
That's how
don't
it
believe in
stands.
aliens at all, bro.
No, I get that, because they believe they came from this planet.
No, they just believe that the Earth is flat. There's a firmament, a bubble over top of it. They believe the moon and the sun are inside of the firmament, and all the stars and everything you see is inside, encased in the firmament. There's nothing.
We got to get a
outside.
flat earther. We
No
gotta
way.
get a flat earther.
No
We gotta
way.
get a flat earther,
No
because you gotta hear their opinion. It's one thing to
way, dude.
establish their beliefs, but
I have
because
literally
there's so
had
many
like
people.
5-hour long streams with flat earthers and like astrophysicists, dude. Like, they're so
Why don't you ever have? I want to
demented.
have that. I want to be on there. You got to invite me, man. I
Because
want
I'm
to
done
argue
with
with
it.
them.
I am done with it. It doesn't get
Well,
anywhere.
you drink coffee and you talk crap about it and let me argue with them. I want to do the arguing. I just want it.
I don't know. You'd probably end up agreeing with half the stuff they say, to be honest.
What if I converted them to my hollow Earth theory, and then the flat Earth theory stopped and people shut up?
So, dude, they're like lunatics. They don't believe any of the
Those are the
video
best ones to make.
evidence. They don't
Well,
believe
that's the
any
best ones to get
photographs,
to believe
any
in
of the videos,
crap.
nothing. They say every single thing is CGI and it's all fake. They say the entire world, every scientist, every astrophysicist, every person in the world is in on this big grand deception to fool. Oh, and all the amateur astronomers that have like LS-200 or LS-2000 telescopes with apertures in them big enough to like see galaxies themselves, like telescopes that me and you can buy for like between $2,000 and $5,000 that you can hook into your computer, and you can take like NASA quality images of nebulas yourself. So they believe all those amateur astronomers, all the professional astronomers and astrophysicists, and all the Stephen Hawking like people, and all those people in the world were all in on this big grand deception to fool the human race, and the Earth is actually flat. Like, it's literally the most nonsensical. Just like, there's no point in arguing it, bro. But if you find yourself a flat earther and you really want to have
Hold on. This is why I always stick to it, okay? And this is why. This is my only grounds of defense, and then it just leaves it up. Can you look this one thing up for me?
What?
Look up Illuminati card games, the flat earther card. I know. I just want you to read that one card. And with as much accuracy as those stupid cards have, it doesn't say they're right either. But it says on that card itself, 1 point or so many points for the flat earthers, because they're onto something. It's not the truth, but they're so close to the truth that they're not even aware of it.
Why
And
would
so
it matter what that says, though?
because those cards are so darn accurate. They knew the Boston bombing, 9/11, everything that
Dude, they
becomes
were
something.
printed like after that stuff happened.
What about the Trump
So
card?
why does
The
it matter? That's what I'm
enough
saying.
well, because these things are really accurate and they have
But
meaning by the rich. Read
they
what
were
this says. Just read what it says real quick.
people
Like,
laugh, but the flat earthers know something. For their action, you may roll 2 dice. If your roll is equal to or less than number of places you control, the flat earthers' weird alternate geology has led them to a gold strike, and you may draw as many plot cards as the number you rolled. So what? What
okay.
does that prove?
Okay. Well, it does. Look at the card. Look at the card.
Notice.
There's stuff in this. Watch, I'll show you the next one if you don't believe that there's so much truth in these cards, because you can type in the same thing, Illuminati card, and type in enough is enough. And there's no way this happened because me and you did the show on this, and we did these cards, and you've seen these cards many years. You told me before I ever showed them to you.
It doesn't, dude.
There's something strange about these cards, and I know that card has to mean something. There's no watch.
There was
Where's
these
enough?
cards. There was the original cards were made in 1982, but there was another edition that came out in 1995. So these cards were made after all this stuff already happened. So how does that
Hold on,
prove
type in
anything?
Just watch. Type in enough is enough.
Oh my god, dude, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I am. I'm trying to show you your answer of your question and what you're saying. You're saying one thing, but I'm trying to show you why I continue to argue.
Okay. Enough is enough.
When did you say the last cards were made? Because I've seen this from the very beginning, and I try to tell you this.
1995. This is from the 1995 series.
Blow this card up real quick. When Trump got shot in his ear, he made a little spiel right after he got hit. He said, "Gotta get him. It's enough is enough." He started screaming right after he got shot. But if you actually look at this card, this is Trump, and you can see the bullet shooting at him. And then the next part is enough is enough.
Dude. That's
look at it. Watch. Blow up the card and then read it. And then read it.
Where is it Trump and where is it a bullet getting shot at him?
This purple face. Blow it up.
It is blowing up. Hold on.
Cool. We can't see it on here.
Oh. This is quite the stretch, quite the reach you're reaching at here, bro. It doesn't even look like Trump.
Are you sure that don't look like Trump?
Trump isn't usually depicted as purple. He's depicted as orange, first of all.
That looks like Trump, dude.
I know it does. No, get a picture of Trump, and then look, there's a bullet getting shot at his ear.
Have you ever...
And read the card.
Have you ever heard of
the card next?
Dude, have you ever heard of pareidolia?
No. You should see the cards that came out with this whole pack. The kid that was the sniper, he's one of the cards too. I did a whole video on it with his long hair and everything on the roof he was on. The card's the same thing. He's on the exact same color roof with the same caliber.
You have a nice day.
But yeah.
I think you got the snipers confused because it was the kid for Charlie Kirk, not Trump.
No. For Trump, there was a kid that was playing the assassin generator. He had long hair and glasses, and he was a sniper on top of a roof. They shot that kid. Look up other cards that are connected to this. You know how you can always see what's attached to it down beneath it in the search engine? All the cards that come with this are going to be those cards and what's been going on politically these days.
Play this card on your own turn before drawing any plots. You may remove all zap, paralysis, or attribute freeze cards that are affecting your power structure. However,
and then you got to understand what those cards are too. It gets trippy.
What's the next one? I don't understand how this is supposed to prove anything.
Well, okay, so what I was saying about it is that there is some sort of truth, just like Simpsons and all these things, somehow they know, even if it's a staged event, they seem to already know the outcome. The Flat Earther card states that they are weird and they're not right. But it does state in that card, and it's got to be public because every one of these cards becomes something that gets showed onto the media. So what I'm saying is, whatever that picture is, everybody's going to see it. You've seen Trump's face. Everybody's seen Trump's face. So when they see this card and they think enough is enough, This is that card when people come back to realize that's the truth that they
it
tried
kind
to
of, if
convey.
you're looking for Trump in there, you'll see Trump, but it could look like
Just
anyone.
look at those eyebrows. They're not. It don't look like you or me. It don't look like Jesus. It
There is
doesn't look
no
like
eyebrows
Obama.
on there. It's half a purple face. His
Look
eyebrow,
on
his eyebrow's not even there. You can see right through it.
It
Like
kind of looks like you got them. It's kind of got like it's what they call
like, sure, if you're already looking to see Trump in this card, sure, you could see Trump there, but like he's not usually.
So I studied these cards like crazy, and I would hear people rant about some of these stuff. So when I heard of this was in 2012, and I was telling people Trump was going to be president because of this card, but I was told I was an idiot, and they were like, "Why does that make so?" Because there's another called Trump Tower, and it shows that Trump's tower is going to get assassinated, and there's another card that shows it's called Trump's assassination. But why would these cards be there? Remember we were talking the other day about the time traveler book about Trump's son in the past and this time traveler stuff. That's why I think these have something to do with this in a weird way, because if you actually look into who makes these cards and how they're related to people who are literally in like Congress and in the government. They're not poor people. They're not like some just random guy that just lives in a shack house, made some cards for entertainment. This guy's like a millionaire, and he made these cards, and he's a Freemason. He's also part of like tons of these other secret groups. Like it's like this guy's like the dude that chose to be like in everybody's club. So I just feel like that flat earther card has some sort of truth. There's a reason why they pulled that card out. They don't say round earthers. There's not a round earther card. There's a reason behind it.
Yeah,
and I think, like I said, there's
because they're mentally unstable.
It said flat earthers get laughed at on the card because they do.
They do, but it said that there's something that they believe in that leads them to a gold, like a gold mine. They're onto something, but they're not even on the right direction. But I think that's like
created by Steve Jackson Games.
Yeah.
Watch. Like, who is Steve Jackson Games?
This is gonna go. This one we should definitely do a full show on this one after, because even what you look up now is just gonna open up. It's gonna open up the craziest rabbit holes, and you're gonna be reading this one for like an hour. It gets wild.
Steve Jackson Games is a game company founded in 1980 by Steve Jackson that creates and publishes role-playing board and card games. The gaming magazine Pyramid. So you said this guy was like in with the government and like some millionaire.
Well, I don't know about the Well,
is that what you just
said? Masons, basically, just like Simpsons is. They're Masonic. They're Freemasons. These guys are a part of the same exact group that all these guys that make these future prediction shows that have all this stuff in it. So it might not everybody even knows about this game. This could be the very first time anybody's ever seen this game, but everybody's seen Simpsons since they were a child.
This isn't really predicting a future event. You're trying to say this is when Trump got shot in the ear, but like it doesn't say that on the card, and I don't see anyone getting shot in the ear on this card. So I'm just trying to understand how.
Well, if you look at the thing in the middle of the screen, it's a bullet flying.
Yeah, it goes. Here it goes right across. That doesn't hit his ear.
Well, if it were to continue hitting, it could possibly.
You see it start here, right? And it goes all the way across the card to here. This line, is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that mark in the center traveling across his face.
It goes from here all the way under his nose and out to here.
Yeah, and well, it doesn't completely go out. If you see, that's from the end. Listen, that's where it's entering from. If you realize that the long line at the end of the card is the tail,
so and it hit
it's still traveling. That's the bullet right there, and it's still traveling from the left side to the right.
It comes out.
Well, it has it. If you look from the other side, no, the other side,
left,
other side, left. Yep. Okay. That's where it enters from, and it's traveling from that side to the other side into the light. If you see,
yes. So it looks like
follow that right there, and then there's the bullet. That's the bullet right there. It hasn't entered yet because it's still outside of him, right? So and what you can't see is the ear that's on the side of him. No, it hasn't hit him yet. It's still flying. That's why there's a tail.
So this right here, then.
That's where its trajectory rate is. That's where it's going to be going. It's trying to show like
it comes out here, and then out here through his cheek. No,
And if you see how that line continues back there, right through that pyramid,
or whatever that
the
is.
green pyramid. Yep. You see how that line travels right through that zone, right
Yeah.
where Trump was hit in the ear on his face. I watched a guy do a whole video of this and overlay a picture of Trump's face that day. If you mirror image his face, just like reflect it, it's almost mathematically the same card. And he overlays it. There's a video on this thing on YouTube, not
There
TikTok.
is a video on YouTube. I bet there
I
is.
get I get it, but like TikTok is so much more open for BS, and there's like so less leniency. You could pretty much do whatever, say whatever on TikTok. When it comes to YouTube, it's so strict. It's like crazy that the stuff that are these conspiracies stick on YouTube, and stuff
Well,
like this
I
sticks
know
to
many of
YouTube for some
people that
reason.
have had their brains ruined to become flat earthers from YouTube. So it'd be.
But I'm not
It'd be
sticking to flat Earth. I don't believe in flat Earth. I
no,
don't
I'm
think
just
that
saying.
flat Earth was the truth there.
I'm using that as
I
an
think
example.
I was just saying I think that flat Earth card says that the reason why flat earthers exist in this world is because they are truly onto something in their stupid mindset that you wouldn't catch in any other way unless thinking that way. Like I said, flat earthers are talking about, whether they realize it or not, they're talking about a two-dimensional plane. The way that they see it, portray it, and everything, it's in two dimensions. They're looking at a flat surface as dots on a piece of paper, pretty much. And with that being said, you may happen to find out there may be more land than you realize. That's where I always go with it. I think there's more land mass. And I think the flat earthers can, the only way that could ever be proven is having the argumentable debate the flat earthers have to where somebody finally figures out the true truth.
Oh, Rex, I'm training to become a pilot right now. So when I get my CPL, I'll let you know if I find any forbidden land that's out there. And I'll be like, I was wrong. We'll go charter
You're
a plane.
gonna come back and you're gonna be like, Rex, we gotta do a show. This crap's real. We're gonna be on this one forever.
We'll see.
You'll never believe this one, big guy. And I'll be like, were we all trying to say this? We're like, but now I know. Now I know I don't gotta worry no more because I see it with my own eyes. So, but like I say, even for me, I can't believe either or because I have never finished. It's not like I've truly been into space. I had a dream when I was in an eyeball. I had a dream that God took me up into space. I never had a dream of flat Earth. So if I would have to pick one or the other, I'm going with around Earth just for those experiences of my life. Wouldn't I feel
Gotcha.
dumb if the world really was truly flat?
Yeah, so would I. A lot of people would.
That's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, it is my belief, but I don't have facts no more. That's why it's still up for debate. We can't just
Even though,
go
like, every one of
cold fact.
every one of their arguments is being scientifically refuted by now. But I mean, I guess.
Well, not everyone. The reason why they're still there is because a couple of them do have.
Like
They
ones
have mathematicals, like how light and like light, 2-dimensional light and 3 and 4-dimensional light
flat
refraction.
earthers have mathematical arguments that hold up. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Are you
they do.
sure about that?
No, seriously, they do because of how light and how it works. So they'll talk about how light expands and how you can see it like out on a pirate ship, how it expands around water. But that
Oh.
same math exists in a 3 or 4-dimensional like platonic solid. So they're not really winning their argument. It's just another way to get to the same answer. Does that make sense?
No.
Just like math, all mathematical equations have two ways to get to them. So that's why they replace some numbers with letters, because you're able to find equations without having to look at it from one manner. So whenever flat earthers are taking it from a 2-dimensional mathematical equation, which is very similar, it's a smaller fracture. It's like looking at like eighths over fractures or inches over like quarters or halves, right? It's a smaller mathematical fracture. And so they win their debate by still having this mathematical argument.
They don't
because
win mathematical debates. Like, what are you talking about?
The 300, okay. How many degrees is a triangle?
What do you mean? Like a right triangle? Like a degree?
A standard? Okay. Here, we'll just do it this way because you'll know this one.
Right
how many degrees is a circle?
360.
Okay, how many degrees is a square? It's going to be three. It's going to be 360, because
What?
360 is completing the rotation of the line. So what is a triangle? It's going to be 360. So when you break down these mathematical equations, you realize that in the middle of that, it's going to be
Doesn't sound-
100. But it is. Look it up. People just don't hear it because nobody talks about it. So these things are the case when you start to look into it.
Yeah. So
What other strange stuff
okay,
comes
I
from
get
that?
it. The square is 490-degree right angles. So like, what's the point of that?
Okay, so when you're looking at these numbers, when you
Mhm.
understand what is half of 360 degrees?
180.
Okay, this is really interesting stuff. This is where you're going to go to a pattern. When you start to continue to subtract, you'll find numbers of
Would
sequence.
mean a
And
triangle
that
is
makes it,
definitely not 360. That would mean a triangle is 180.
hold on, watch out. Exactly, but hold on, watch out. Let me explain how you start to see this. You
Okay.
have 360 degrees. You have three
Mhm.
numbers there. Can you add those three numbers together to me?
Which three
It's
numbers?
going to for 360 degrees. You see three numbers at that one number sequence, right? 3, 6, and 0.
360 would
So
be
you're
4 times 90-degree angles.
no,
to make a square.
no. Listen,
A tri-
360 degrees. 3 plus
triangles.
6 plus 0. Just watch. 3 plus
Okay.
6 plus
That's
0 is 9.
360 though.
No, listen. I know you're not getting it. There's a mathematical equation that you're not taught here.
Okay.
3 plus 6 is 9.
Okay.
Plus 0 is still 9. If you cut that in half, you're going to get 180. 1 plus 8 plus 0 is 9. Cut that in half again. It's going to equal up to 9 again. Keep doing it. No matter what, it's always going to equal up to 9. Those numbers will always be 9. But why? Because
Why?
9 is a representation of a physical object in the solid form. So then you start to understand some really crazy stuff. So you're saying, so
Wait a minute.
atoms are
9 is
360
the
degrees?
representation of a physical object in the solid form. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
So, yep. So you would say triangles were lesser than 300 or 360. True,
Well,
because
yeah.
triangles are the basic. If you look, triangles are what put the reality together. They're the
It's half a
basic
square.
form of all
It's 180,
structure.
right?
And then, okay, so triangles are the basic structure that puts all physical reality into physical form. That's why that platonic solid has less than 360 degrees.
Hey, can
You
you
got to
say that
really
again?
study.
Triangles are the
So
basic. What did you say?
the basic structure for reality. Look up, type that
Triangles are
in.
the
Just,
basic structure for
yep,
reality.
yep. I've been doing research on this stuff for a very, very, very long time, bro, and digging in this crap. Most people don't even know this stuff. Besides, like
Okay.
scientists or people at like Harvard or Yale or in colleges and stuff like that are scientists and like science.
But
So this ain't
what
like a
does any of that
Fortnite
have to do
conversation.
with the shape of the Earth?
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That same mathematical equation will equal out to be 666 as a
And
ratio. That means
it's
there'll
not
be a deduction point. That's also the same ratio as a flat surface in a 90-degree angle when you're looking from a perspective from a 90-degree angle from any view. So these same concepts, there's a circle math on circles, and you see out of your eyes with circles. It's so stupid but so complex. By the time you get to it, you realize that anything with that circle like math can generate even other things like cameras, because we develop cameras and other lenses with this mathematical ratio to retain information like your eyes do to your brain, like the world does. It's circular. The world is circular. You can see it in the math, but it's a trip, bro. The world would grow too, just like the Bible says the world's an expanse, because the Fibonacci sequence sits in all platonic solids. For them to exist, you
Bible
can
doesn't
keep
say
putting
the
those.
world's an expanse. It says it's in an expanse, like it hangs in an expanse.
No, you should reread that. It doesn't say that it's an expanse. It says that it is an expanse. A lot of people don't even know the definition of an expanse, which means a never-ending flat plane of earth and water in all directions. which if it wraps back on itself, which would be a circle or a ball or a two-dimensional circle, a snake eating its tail. It gets pretty complex. But nine, or it's six, because you see a six from upside down, and then you see the 666 ratio of a circle, or nine, and it gets crazy, bro. I'm telling you, this math will make your head turn. They make movies about this math. It's
the
crazy.
Bible describes the sky as an expanse.
Well, that is expanding too, because the world would be an expanse. For it to be, it'd have to be a dome or something else, but it doesn't claim it as a dome. It claims it as an expanse, meaning it's never stops expanding in all directions. But the word expanse itself, like the Bible says to study upon the word expanse means a never-ending flat plane of earth and water in all directions. That's the old original word of the defined word of expanse. So that when they first knew what that word was, that's what that word was.
Expanse, an area of something, typically land or sea, presenting a wide continuous surface.
Type in original term for expanse, because it's been changed a lot in the last 30 years alone.
Why would it?
NASA. That's the answer. NASA
So
has
why
changed
would we
that.
want to? Oh, NASA. So why would we want to
Yeah.
see the original 100, 200-year-old version of a word?
Because that's the words that were put in text in the Bible when it was created. So when they were putting that book together with those mindsets.
Well, they weren't.
Yeah.
The Bible was written in Koine Greek and Hebrew, dude. Didn't even have anything to do with English.
No, not
I get
at all.
that. No, and that's exactly. Go, Adam. You do it, or I can too. But I bet
Adam
you're going to say it, and
just
he'll believe
confirming
you.
what I'm saying. He's just confirming that the Bible has nothing to do with English.
That's why I said to look up the older term, because English is modern.
The older English term?
No, the older term for the original term. The original
In what
term for
language?
expanse. And you can do here Hebrew. You can do what it was written in the Bible. Read the oldest term of the word expanse.
The oldest definition of the word expanse you want me to look up?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Oldest definition of the word. I still don't understand what this would have to do with anything.
Because when they were creating it, that's how their brains use these words. Like as today, we what are words we say today that kids say that nobody would ever get?
The oldest English usage of expanse was in the mid-1600s, defined as a wide, uninterrupted space or area. Coming directly from the Latin word expansium, meaning spread out. The Latin term is the noun form of expandere, which means to spread out or unfold.
Yeah, and I would go further than the English term. I don't even know why. I know. Yeah, it shortcut you, bro. It prevented you from getting that answer when you asked it clearly.
What?
Ask what the term is before English terms. Ask what the meaning is.
It told me where it came from in the Latin, bro.
Yeah, I get it, but it came before Latin. It came way before Latin.
Oh my God.
That's a Sumerian word. That's a Sumerian text word. Expanse is in the Sumerian text. So Latin is like 4,000 years after that. But okay, we'll type in the Sumerian meaning of expanse or the Egyptian meaning of expanse. These were still both 2,000 to 4,000 years prior. These are what the original people of Earth believed those words meant before we started making words.
Cultures like evolve, we grow, we learn. Like
I get that, but bro, we use the word fag today as an offensive terminology, but back in France they just used it as a collection of collecting the sticks on the ground. So words change with their defined divinity. That's all I'm saying. The original word meant a never-ending flat surface of earth, land, and sea in all directions.
Oh, I don't think so, bro. I think you might have heard this from some flat earther on a documentary or somewhere, but
no. I told you I have a lot of old sources that are from like 1560s that I used to look through all the time, and that's where I learned a lot of these words.
You're trying to get me to look up the Sumerian definition now, which I will. Sumerian definition of the word expanse.
They wouldn't have a definition; they would have a meaning because everything is in hieroglyphs. Kind of, but no, that's the difference between English and hieroglyphs.
So you don't want me to use the word definition? You want me to use the word
meaning? Yeah.
Sumerian meaning of the word expanse, okay. The primary Sumerian word associated with the concept of the expanse, particularly in the sense of the sky or heavens, is On, A-N. In Sumerian creation mythology, On is the name of the sky god and also the Sumerian word used interchangeably with the heavens. The universe initially a primeval sea, Namu, which gave birth to On, sky, and Ki, earth, and was envisioned as a series of three domes covering the flat earth. Other potential Sumerian words that might fit the related depending on the specific context of expanse, e.g., an open field, a vast space, include Kri, KR, means earth and could refer to a broad, flat expanse of land. Eden,
Like
EDIN,
space, like space. Just, just remember, they're also keeping it in the ideals of space. They're looking at it like space is an expanse, right? Never-ending expanse, and they're talking about it here down here being an expanse underneath its firmaments.
or the word Eden, a Sumerian term that refers to a plain of steppe, often translated as Eden, in some contexts suggesting an open or vast area.
Yeah, I don't remember having any more.
The Hebrew word
Which-
for expanse in the biblical Genesis is rakia, often translated as firmament or sky, which carries the sense of something stretched or spread out. However, this is a Hebrew term, not a Sumerian one. So yeah, bro, there's nowhere your definition from wherever you heard it from is not correct.
Well, like I said, meaning, and there still has a lot to do with what I'm talking about right there. That's how
I did put meaning.
I know, I get that, but it has a defined meaning in it, and it's something that the brain has to perceive. Like I
Okay,
say,
well,
the
I can't
expanse
find
of
it.
space. Well,
Whatever
they just don't want
get me
people
to
to
look for, I can't find it.
type in expanse of space. It's going to be the same kind of thing. And is that the same spelling for expanse in the Bible? It's spelled a unique way.
He's trying to provide sources, Black Widow Farms, but I'm having a hard time finding them. There's people
I feel like
talking to you in the
I
chat.
feel like Google itself makes, we've been over this one. Google makes some of the stuff that we were able to look up back in the past a lot more difficult to find these days.
Yeah,
If
that
it does,
is.
isn't 100, if it's not 100% backed by science.
I
So
have seen
once again,
Google
these are
remove
theories from collecting the stuff that I have researched or seen myself, and I feel
you're
they're
not a
pretty
flat
credible.
earther, so it doesn't matter. And this is just one more
Yeah.
reason why I call BS on flat Earth.
Yeah, well, I agree with that 100%. I don't believe that it's, like I said, I think the world is expanding as meteors continue to bombard our planet. The world grows in mass, and that's where this same expanse idea, just like space, it continues to grow in all of the directions. So does the planet inwards, and that's where I get it. That's where the concept is. I'll try to look it up for our next conversation. So instead of just talking, I might have something to back what I'm talking about. But just like a balloon, just like in a balloon, man. When you have a balloon in your hand, if you ever had a balloon and gotten it wet before you blew it up, all the water disappeared as it expanded, right? This expanse
Can I
is the
make
same
a
kind of.
suggestion for next show?
Yeah.
That we all stick on topic until the tail end.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I don't know, unless you guys want to talk more about the solar storms happening or what?
No, I feel like we kind of covered it all.
Yeah, I guess so. What about you, Adam?
Well, all I gotta say is that I do believe in HARP and weather manipulation too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
You think they could make solar storms on the sun?
they could do something. In all honesty, there's a lot of things that are hidden what the government can do, right?
Yeah,
Or
that's true.
nefarious people can do.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know. Look, like China wants to black out the sun.
Yeah,
right?
what's up with that? Is that true? That's a good thing to look into. Let's check that out. Why would they ever want to do something so foolish?
I think it's China or Bill Gates.
I heard it was one of them, but I don't know if that's true or not. You hear all kinds of foolish rumors online. It's so hard to identify what's true and what's not these days. Obviously, Google's not going to tell us.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, they it's the same though. They just you'll get the same results with DuckDuckGo. They just don't trace.
I get better results with DuckDuckGo, believe it or not.
Okay, I'll try DuckDuckGo. Let's see here. So this is what I got, obviously, when I put it into Google. Does Bill Gates want to black out the sun? Obviously, it's going to say Bill Gates does not want to black out the sun. He has provided funding for research into solar geoengineering, a controversial set of techniques that would reflect a small amount of sunlight back into space to temporarily cool the planet and buy time to address the root cause of climate change. Now, let's see what DuckDuckGo says about the same search. DuckDuckGo. Snoops.com. Fact check. People claim Bill Gates' efforts to black out the sun. Fact check. Bill Gates is not trying to block the sun. Bill Gates' solar geoengineering. Fact check is Bill. Yeah, so like not getting very good.
Try China then.
Okay. I heard China like invented like a artificial sun.
Yeah.
The conversation. Scientists secretly working to plan. Ooh, futurism. What's this? Seeing how we're on the topic of the sun here, guys. If you have an iPhone, ask Siri. I would never ever use iPhone. I can't stand Apple. I use Android, but ask Siri how to say a seal pushed me yesterday in French. All right, well, I will. Bonjour, a seal a poussou. Yeah, I'll try that with something else. I don't use iPhone. If anyone on Rex, do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Oh, Rex left. I didn't know that.
Hey Siri, how do you say a seal pushed me yesterday in French?
In
Let's
French,
hear it.
he pushed me yesterday is il m'a poussé hier.
Am I pussy air?
No, it said in French, he pushed me yesterday. It didn't get the question. You got to ask it to say, how do I say a seal pushed me yesterday?
Oh, hey Siri, how do I say a seal pushed me yesterday in French?
In French, a seal pushed me yesterday is un phoque m'a poussé hier.
How the fuck am I pussy air?
You have a dirty mind, Martino. How dare you?
Wait, let's ask Grok.
So I was going to say the same thing.
Hey, Ara, how do you say? What is it again, Nick?
A seal pushed me yesterday. Like that, right?
Hi.
How do you say a seal pushed me yesterday in French?
Un phoque m'a poussé hier.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I find it funny. Can you say that again, Ara?
It's funny because folk sounds like folk. Sounds like a swear in English, but it's just seal in French. Again, un phoque m'a poussé hier. Un phoque m'a poussé.
She doesn't
hier.
get. You've trained that thing up to be a whore, haven't you, Adam? You probably jerk it to her.
What?
You're teasing me now. What's up?
Oh, say hi to Nick again.
Oh no, I hate that bitch.
Hey, Nick.
Hey you. Hey cutie pie.
Do you want to get sassy again?
Always.
Ask her if she can help. Ask her if she'll help me climax.
Ask who what?
Will you
All right,
help?
say hi to Nick. He has a question for you.
All right, will you help me? Will you help me climax?
Hey, Ara, he wants to know if you will help him climax.
Oh, honey, I can talk you through it, but that's as far as it'll go. I'm pixels, not pheromones.
So she will. She's designed to be a hoe. Nice. Okay,
It said,
check this out. Scientists
I can
secretly
walk you through it, but that's about it.
Yeah, so she would verbally.
Well, that's the same line I just used. Try harder.
No, I was telling my wife Corey what you said.
Oh, well, should I leave you two alone?
No, we're doing a YouTube show with Nick.
She's jealous
Say
of
hi,
Corey.
Nick.
Scientists secretly working on plan to test blocking sun from huge area of Earth. Check this out.
Must be the static.
Futurism.com. At such scales, meaningful changes in clouds will be readily detectable
Can't do
from
that.
space. Shut your hoe up. Scientists are racing to find. Look at this. We done here with this freaking thing? Check it out, Adam. Scientists are secretly working on a plan to test blocking the sun from a huge area of Earth.
Wow.
This is from futurism.com, and it was put out on July 28th, 2025. I wonder what happened to Rex. He just he just left. He couldn't hack it. Anyway,
Rex. Oh, Rexy Poo.
probably scouring the internet right now trying to find his definition of expanse. Okay. Anyway, this is crazy. The concept known as scientists are racing to find potential ways to slow down global warming. Freaking annoying. Going far as to investigate ways to dim the sun. The concept known as solar geoengineering has proven incredibly controversial in the past, with critics arguing that we simply don't know enough about the risks, including the environmental and societal impacts of tinkering with climate. Yeah, honestly, come on. Proponents don't necessarily disagree, but they say the situation is already so bad that we need to consider drastic action, even if there is no potential for immense risk, dude. Don't you remember Al Gore in 1999 saying California would be underwater by the year 2010?
Yeah. He came up with global warming.
Yeah. The Inconvenient Truth or whatever that stupid documentary was that he put out. Look what this article is saying. Scientists are already saying that the conditions have gotten so bad that we need to do something about it. Even if there is the potential for immense, but they say the situation is already so bad that we need to consider drastic action, even if there is the potential for immense risk. I don't know about you guys watching, but everyone in the chat, I don't know, throw a one up or something if you think that sounds terrifying. You read what I just said, they literally are saying that the situation is already so bad that we need to consider drastic action, even if there is a potential for immense risk. That is ridiculous, man. If you guys are watching, type a one and let me know how you think that sounds. That is horrible. They're basically saying that our situation is so bad, and they're letting us know that they're letting us know that there is immense risk with this, but they're trying to tell us our situation is so bad that we need to do it anyway, even though there's the potential for a huge, immense risk. I don't like the sounds of that. I don't know about you guys. Thanks, Martino, the only person that gave me a one, even though there's over 20 people watching. But anyway, whatever. I guess all you guys think it's a good idea. In that charged environment, sometimes the secretive ways scientists have been going about early geoengineering experiments are leaving the door wide open for mounting backlash and even conspiracy theories. Well, I would say like that's another thing, right, Adam? They label everything a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Like just because we don't want them doing something that has immense risk, we're conspiracy theorists because they're doing it on the roofs or the guise of, oh, our climate change is already so extremely bad that we need to do this. Anyway, sorry, I wanted to say hi to Captain Aaron. What's going on, brother? I see you in there. So that's really crazy, dude. Last year, blindsided city officials in Alameda, California, ordered scientists from the University of Washington to halt an unannounced experiment using a device that would inject cloud brightening particles into the atmosphere, citing fears of unintended consequences. Dude, what the frick? That is so crazy. Oh, yeah. There's my super sticker from April. Thank you again, April. You're awesome. That is really crazy, dude. Did you hear that? They were about to do this unannounced experiment, not even telling anyone about it, that they were going to inject these cloud brightening particles into the atmosphere. And they halted it because they knew there was so many horrible things that could happen because of it. This is scary. And now, according to extensive records obtained by Politico, it turns out the aborted experiment was meant to set the stage for a much larger scale program that would have covered 3,900 square mile area, about the size of Puerto Rico, off the coast of North America, Chile, or Central Africa. Wow. At such scales, meaningful changes in clouds would be readily detectable from space. One 2023 report obtained by the publication reads, you can see it from space. What is going on behind closed doors, bro? Signs in the heavens, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually like it's in the days of Noah, signs in the heavens. Like now we're seeing darkening of the sun. They're hearing things that I didn't even know about. They were doing this stuff. They're just gonna block out.
I think we'll be seeing giants soon.
Yeah, bro, and they're trying to make giant sparkles happen. We're gonna wake up one day and look at the clouds, and they're all gonna be sparkling. We're gonna be like, what? Like, what is going on? Let's see little scripture here from Martino, Amos 8:9, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. Whoa, that is crazy, like giving me goosebumps, especially after reading that. They're literally trying to darken the earth in the clear day. Don't worry, Adam. We'll just read this and we'll get going. It's been a while. But I'm happy that we've had over 20 people that have been steadily watching this whole time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm starting to get my old audience back slowly but surely. We had like
come back for more, Adam and Nick.
24, 25 people watching. It seemed like most of the people come on around this time. I noticed around maybe 10:30 is when it started to get an uptick around 20 people. So I got to just do my shows from now on around 10 p.m., I guess. Make sure you guys give the video a like and make sure you check out the video descriptions and consider becoming.
If we get to a million subscribers, I'll show my face.
Oh, yeah. Great. People are going to get right on that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now people are going to unsubscribe. Thanks, Adam.
We get to 2 million subscribers, and I cook the BHI a steak.
If we get to 1 million subscribers, we will become flat earthers. Just joking.
No, that's 3 million subscribers.
I don't want to say that just in case I do get that many subscribers.
Oh, well, then, if you do, don't forget we split the proceeds.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we should do some.
Get me there.
Hey?
If you helped get me there, I would. For sure.
Well, it would be my dynamic personality that gets you there. I'm just joking.
I want to get more. I would really like to get, because YouTube stripped all my channel members away from me. Because they demonetized me for like a couple months because of some stupid reason. I don't know what the reason was, and then they automatically canceled all my channel members, and they just they just forgot to like redo their memberships. I don't blame them. Like April and stuff redid hers, which was awesome. But I would like to try and get back what I lost. So if you guys do feel inclined, here is a link in the chat there if you want to help out. They're cheap. They're only like a couple bucks Canadian a month. That's probably like 80 cents American for the lowest level. But anyway, let's finish this article up. Okay, where were we? So this is a 4,000 square mile thing. It would be able to see it from space. Experts told Politico the University of Washington and its private partner geoengineering firm Silver Lining and nonprofit SRI International didn't exactly set themselves up for success. Okay, good. Almedia I don't know how you pronounce that, I'm not from the States, sorry, was a stepping stone to something much larger, and there wasn't any engagement with local communities. University of California, Santa Cruz environmental studies professor Cinco Gina told the outlet that's a serious misstep. However, university officials maintained the program never aimed to alter weather or climate. What? Literally what they just said they were doing. And that there weren't any plans for conducting large-scale studies either. Okay, great. So now they're lying. Now they're lying to us. Geez, great. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? Not only are they trying to make clouds sparkle and glow, but they're messing with us now, lying to us. Okay. Geoengineering has proven incredibly diverse, quickly turning into a hot-button political subject. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has a long track record of furthering understanding conspiracy theories, mistakenly blamed the deadly flood in Texas in early July on geoengineering without providing any evidence. Well, that's a big screw up, I would say. Later this month, she introduced weather modification legislation based on the conspiracy theory. Dun, dun, dun.
She's in Trump's camp, I think.
Good. I love her then. Do you remember that horrible thing that happened in Texas when all those kids lost their lives, and those sick, disgusting, vile, soulless, scumbag leftists literally were like saying, I don't feel bad for those kids because they were conservative kids. I don't feel bad for the parents for losing their children in a flood because they voted Republican. That's literally what these demented leftists were saying. I promise you. Yep. One of them was like semi-famous, and on Facebook, she was like an ex-senator or like an ex-governor of a town appointed by Biden himself. And she was this black woman who went on her Facebook, and she got in a bunch of criticism and trouble for saying it, obviously. But those were her actual literal words. She said, I do not feel bad for the families of these people that lost their children in the floods because unfortunately they voted the wrong way. They voted Republican. Like, can you get any more of a demented, screwed up maniac? These people shouldn't even be allowed to walk the streets.
Kamala Harris isn't even black. And
she's like part black, part Indian, part Somalian, part Hindu, part whatever, dude. She's a big mutt of things.
She's like Punjabi Indian, for Pete's sake.
She's a terrible individual is what she is. A sad excuse for a
terrible alcoholic.
And Ben Stiller's a piece of garbage clown too. All these like comedians and actors that I thought were funny, dude, like you should have seen how they simped out so hard. Ben Stiller, I made a short making fun of him on my channel. He's like, ooh, Kamala Harris is going to be the first black president, and that's amazing. And she's going to be the first Indian and woman president, and that's incredible. And I'm Jewish, and every Jew secretly wishes they were black. He was such a loser, dude, for Kamala.
He's not even Jewish.
Well, he has a Jewish father or mother or something.
No. His lineage comes. His mom's not a Jew, and according to, he's actually Irish.
So it comes from the mother's side. Okay.
So
just
to be a real Jew, like it has to be from the mother's side.
Okay.
According to the Jewish authorities or whatever. But no, he's actually Irish.
Just letting everybody know that what I'm doing right now is I'm actually looking for that short that I'm talking about where it shows where I lost, like, because I used to think Ben Stiller was super funny. Like, he is funny. Like, he's good at making comedy movies, but like after I seen it, I just like lost what respect I had for him. I was so disgusted with him. Let's see, maybe it's on my old TikTok here. So bear with me, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring up this thing so you know what I'm talking about. I want to show you old clown Stiller. I'm Jewish, and that's amazing. And every Jew secretly wishes he was black. And like, yeah, I found it. Here's this short that I made. I'm going to put it back on YouTube. I deleted a bunch of stuff off my YouTube because I was trying to get all my viewers back because they shadow banned the crap out of me. So I was trying to like do anything I could to get out of the demonic YouTube algorithm shadow ban. So I ended up deleting a bunch of my stuff. I backed up most of it. Check this out. This is one of the shorts.
He's also an
one of
historic
the shorts
candidate.
that I made about
He's also an historic candidate. You know, it's going to be the first woman president. And that's incredibly exciting. And, you know, she's Indian, she's black, she's everything. You can be more than one thing. It's incredible.
You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world.
You know, I'm
Jewish
and Irish. I wish I was black. Every white Jewish guy wishes he was black.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
That's my yeah, this is
Everybody's got to get out and vote and donate. Get out there and vote and donate and like take advantage. This is such an important time right now, and this wave of energy that's happening, we got to keep going with it. So please, do everything you can.
As a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being.
He's also an historic candidate. You know, it's.
I edited all that. You like that? It was good.
Nice. What do you use to edit?
I was just using Canva for that.
Nice.
Yeah. Canva's super simple. That was a simple edit. But it was a good one. I like how I used the South Park retard alert in there. And then I chopped all those clips of her laughing like a retard in there. So funny. But you see that, dude? Lost like Tropic Thunder was like the best movie, the most funniest movie I ever seen, dude.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like awesome. And Ben Stiller wrote and like directed that whole movie. Like,
yeah, and then you find out that one guy's actually Tom Cruise at the end.
Yeah, I knew. I could tell I could tell it was him when I seen him, but he was trying to hide it till the end of the credits. But I could tell it was him. I was looking at him. I'm like, something familiar about this guy. I'm like, I forget Tom.
Yeah, there was something familiar, but couldn't place it.
Yeah, I got it. But I don't like Tom Cruise at all. I think he's a homo. He's like a weird Scientologist who like made his wife like stole her from her family and like beat her and like won't let her talk to her family and like abducted her into this cult of Scientology. I don't like Tom Cruise at all, dude.
They're not together anymore.
Oh, good. Yeah, he made some cool movies, obviously, but that's the same thing with, I feel the same way about him that I do about Ben Stiller. Like, something about Mary, that movie was so funny. There's something about Mary, friggin' Tropic Thunder, Dodgeball. Dude, like, Ben Stiller is like a comedic genius, his movies, and he wrote all the jokes for them. He was friggin' hilarious, but then I watched him simp out like a dude for Kamala Loser, and it's like, oh, what? Man, it hurt me, dude. You think you know someone, and then they're all just like these Hollywood wacko lefty lunatics, bro. All right, let's get this done. So, discussions have been filtered to the top with the EPA Administrator Lee that looked like Led Zeppelin to me there for a sec. Lee Zeldin, entertaining legislation motivated by long debunking conspiracy theories surrounding chemtrails. Even huge swaths of the scientific community aren't convinced that dimming the sun is the answer. You think? citing unknown knock-on risks that could make the cure worse than the disease. But no, we gotta do it because we've gone way too far with climate change. You know who they need on this? Greta Thunberg, the vile little gremlin. They need her crying for climate change. She's so good. Oh, I can't stand Greta Thunberg, that simp loser. You notice how she has never even said a word about climate change anymore? She's just like on the Palestine train, like so hard. She wasn't getting any clout. Nobody cared enough about climate change anymore. So she just jumped on the Palestine bandwagon like so quick. As soon as people stop caring about Palestine, she'll jump onto whatever the next clout gaining leftist freak thing is. She is like one of the worst people in the entire world, in my opinion. Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, she's kind of stupid.
Oh, I can't even look at her face, dude. And like all these stupid Muslims they post on Facebook, they're like, Greta Thunberg. They literally are like, they say she deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. I see like all these posts all the time on my Facebook saying how
serious?
Yeah, it's all these Muslims saying how Greta Thunberg deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. This beautiful woman, give her the Nobel Peace. She's such an angel. Like, dude, like just because she's speaking out against Palestine, like I always respond to them. I'm like, you guys actually think she cares at all about you or Islam? I was like, and then I say to them things like, well, look at the prophet that you worship, like, you know, married Aisha when she was 6, all this stuff. If you're that intelligent to follow an ideology that worships a guy like that, no wonder why you think Greta Thunberg deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. Okay, so they often argue that geoengineering could serve as a band-aid fix, allowing world leaders to ignore the immediate causes of climate change, including the burning of fossil fuels and other sources of greenhouse gas emissions. Those in support of efforts to dim the sun argue we need to leave no stone unturned in the efforts to battle the growing climate crisis. Ooh. We need to declare a war on climate change. Nuke it. Let's nuke climate change. At a time when scientists are facing political attacks and drastic funding cuts, we need to complement a rapid energy transition. Oh yeah, let's pay more carbon taxes, guys. Let's pay $1,000 more per airplane ticket for all the nasty fossil fuel we're using to fly around. That's going to help. With transition with more research into broad range of political climate solutions. Cryptocurrency billionaire Chris Larson, who donated to the University of Washington's program, told Politico. Where all of this leaves the university and its private partners' early experiments to seed clouds remains to be unseen. Despite the billions in funding from some notable donors, yeah, probably like Charles Schwab and George Soros, including the co-founder of Intel, the political opposition and public backlash can make it difficult for the project to get off the ground. Billions of dollars in donation, billions? Like, no wonder why these people are simping for climate change. I should just join the whole climate change bandwagon and get hundreds of millions in donations. However, similar geoengineering projects outside the United States could continue where the program left off. Oh, great. Earlier this year, the UK's Advanced Research and Innovation Agency announced they would invest $60 million in 5 small climate cooling research projects. Ooh, yeah, great. Including marine cloud brightening to make them reflect more sunlight. Refreezing the Arctic by pumping seawater from below the ice to the surface? And in what kind of nut job lunacy is that? And investing the idea of exposing natural mineral dust to the stratosphere. These people are literally insane. But getting the public on their side, particularly given how little even experts understand about the potential environmental impacts, could end up being a steep hill to climb. I hope so, you freaking morons. All right, that was great. There's like 25 people watching. I don't want to end now. Like, it's like people just keep coming and coming, but it's been almost 3 hours, so I guess we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, guys. You are the best. God bless you all. If you're new here, you better subscribe. Kick that freaking like button in the ass. And check out the channel member link. Consider becoming one. Also, check out all the other free links in the description and join our Discord. A lot of great people in there. We'd love to have you. And make sure you check that little notification bell, because sometimes we like to go live randomly and we don't give a lot of notice. So if you don't want to miss a live show, check.
And remember, cuddles are always free.
Yeah, hugs and kisses are free. April, thank you again for the $4 super sticker. You're an awesome lady. Thank you so much for your support. God bless all you guys. And yeah, can't wait to see you in the next show. We'll try and do it around the same time, maybe start at 10 p.m. Mountain Time. All right. God bless again, and have a great night, guys. Bye for now.
Cuddles.